that I uh, I don't really know why I'm not a good Magic player, but I suspect it's probably around my ability to do like to retain heuristics, figure out like the best lines. I have trouble perceiving board state. I think that's where I usually get in the most trouble is like seeing lines, like the best lines I can make or what lines my opponent has available to them. And so just trying to get better at like there's not like a particular format or something where I'm like, oh, I'm trying to draft better. I do want to improve on those things, but just playing like any game in a vacuum, I want to be able to play the best game that I can. And that's like the most important thing for me. And then after that, I'm double qualified for the U.S. regional championships in January and February, and probably getting into some play testing and refining a deck list and like something a little bit more format specific. I'd like to shift over into that maybe at a later point.
Yeah, I mean, I would say probably a good starting place would honestly just be looking at some replays, because then if I see replays, then I can be like, what mistakes are you making in the games, and go from
Yeah.
there. Yeah, I don't know if you have
Cool.
any.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably where I would start
Yeah.
with. Yeah, like just
Yeah.
any
So
random. Yeah.
I have a limited prelim that I just played. Like I'll share my sealed pool here.
Oh
And then I
no.
got I believe 3 rounds recorded. I missed the first round, which is sadly the one I lost. And I have 3 that I won, but by no means played perfectly. So we could run through those. And I also have a constructed like a standard challenge, but I think the limited one is a lot more interesting because the deck choice that I have for the standard one was kind of weird.
Uh, well, I'm just off from playing 100 Arena Directs this weekend, so I guess I'm used to the. I can take a look here and see if I would have done anything differently. Or do you want to talk about the sealed
Yeah.
pool at first? Like, do you want to start by talking about like the sealed build, or
Yeah.
just
Yeah,
okay?
happy to talk about the build. I'm not sure if I built the right thing. I bias toward 2 color pools, probably a bit too much for sealed. And I mean, if I look at the rares, like there was a mythic, a green mythic that I probably should have considered. I'm not sure. I'd love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, I could spend a long time talking about sealed and stuff. I mean, I would say that the one thing I would say is that I like to spend a lot of time looking at my worst cards in a color rather than the rares alone. I mean, obviously everybody knows the rares are good, but I think I don't know if it's obvious, but like there's a lot of value in making the worst cards in your seal deck as good as possible. Like the easiest analogy I would use is, in Constructed, when you play a matchup and like you play against Control and they have no creatures and you have removal and it's dead, so you side it out because it's
Yeah,
useless. It's kind of the same thing as true in Limited. Like the worst card in your deck is actually very high impact, because if you draw the worst card, it's useless. So I guess I would say that's like something I do in sealed. So I'm almost like I almost don't even want to know my rares. I want to like build my deck. Like obviously the rares matter, and it can vary to format. But that's one thing I would say like about kind of how I approach sealed sometimes. But there's a lot of nuances. But yeah, I guess we can start here.
yeah,
Should I like clear the deck? I guess like I know we could start. My screen shares on. I don't know if you can see this.
sure.
I mean, maybe
Yeah, I can
sometimes,
see it.
yeah. Sometimes I might just pull out the rares because what it's easier than going through here. And then like usually what I like to do when I build decks is I like to pull out the cards that like pull me into the color, that are actually like standout cards, like not just playable, but cards that I'm like kind of excited to play. Because the reason for that is I don't like sometimes you have to ask like why am I in this color? And if your answer is not good, so I don't want to like I'll put cards that are just like whatever like Swamp Snare Trap. It's not that exciting, but it's kind of exciting, I guess. But I mean like something like
Yeah,
Kyoshi Warriors. I mean if I have ally synergy, sure, but that's what I'm saying. Like I'm trying to pull out cards that are kind of like above average, I guess. Like I'm not gonna pull out. I'm not
yeah,
gonna be like, oh, this card's playable, but I'll be like, oh, June, that card's good. Like even like Corrupt Court Officials, like on the mid lines for me. Like obviously if you have synergy, it's different. So I might be like, yeah, this is my black. See my blue. Like this card, maybe it's good, but I'm not even pulling it out. Yeah, your blue is
yeah.
troll. Like it's light. Oh, I guess that's it. Well, actually, no, you're gonna be blue black. So I don't know. I guess we'll see how this turns out. But it looks kind of light here because yeah, I don't know if you've been hearing the narratives about the format, but apparently green's not that good. So that looks tough already because you have a lot of green cards here.
Yeah,
Um,
I heard a bit about that. I just wasn't, I heard it after playing a lot of sealed, and I just found myself struggling to do fixing with green the way I usually can in sealed. I guess I'm not sure if that's actually true, if I'm interpreting it correctly, but yeah.
Yeah, like the mana fixings, I would say is like kind of okay in the format. I would say almost the problem is too many of the green filler cards are just kind of bad. Uh, like, like there's too
I
many.
see.
Like there's not like it's too shallow. Like for example, in green there's the 4 mana 4/4s, and both of them are like not very good. Like there's the 4 mana lesson that makes a 4/4, and the 4/3, and like both of those cards are like
Yeah.
kind of like below average cards. Like they're not, and I would say yeah. So I would say like, and you know this. So I would like I don't know if like the fixing's that much worse in the format, but it's almost like it's just shallow because like you want to be green. It's like what are you going to be green for, I guess. But anyway, we can see. So like yeah, I would be like, oh yeah,
Yeah.
this is a tough pool. Like I didn't pull out that many cards. I mean, there's this black thing. There's all these weird multicolor cards. Then I mean, I guess this,
Yeah, like red seemed I guess my thought process with red was it was very shallow, and then you have the double pip with the dragon. And the lands just didn't seem very conducive to playing red. Like there wasn't a lot of fixing. I wasn't sure. I mean, that dragon is that the one that requires lessons? I forget. Like there's
yeah,
two
you
of them
need
in the
lessons
format.
to make it really work. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, also I got confused by a second because this meteorite's a common, but I guess it's on a bonus sheet. So I was gonna say that that's
Oh, that's
bizarre. Um, yeah, yeah. It's also
there's
interesting
some
because
crazy bonus sheet stuff in this form. Like I saw Great Henge the other day. There's just such random stuff.
yeah, there's Noxious Cure Hulk. All yeah, yeah. I mean, this is a
Wow.
problem with the water skin because like also it's like how good are the mana fixing cards does kind of matter, and like this is one of the weaker versions of this variant. I would say like I don't know. Obviously, it can be kind of good sometimes, but it's like I would say it's a lot weaker than the recent ones they've had. But yeah, so I don't know. I'm just kind of pulling
Yeah.
stuff out. Yeah, it's kind of hard to interpret these like hybrid cards, but you know maybe I don't know. I put it here. La da da. This card's kind of good. And yeah, it's weird. Like something about this format too is a lot of cards are synergy cards. Like as you said, Random Shot's like pretty good, but you want to be lessons or like, for example, Abandoned Attachments. Maybe if you're heavy lessons, it could be good, but otherwise it's not that good.
Mm.
But yeah, I mean, and let me see what else. Yeah, and then like you have mana fixing, but it's like you know what are you going to mana fix that's good, you know, and your green is kind of you know the sparring dummies are kind of strong. I guess maybe I mean that's where I don't know. I might
Okay. Yeah.
look at the
I,
17
I,
lines
I
data. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really been looking at the 17. I've been trying to develop my own agency, on like how I'm interpreting these cards, and um, yeah, I was my read on sparring dummies was that it was weak, but um, I've never played with it, so that could
Yeah.
be a lot of
Well, its win
on
rate's
my
not
part.
that good, so it probably would lean to being weak. I've never seen that. I just thought it's an uncommon that does stuff. But yeah, I guess it's not that good. I mean, yeah, I think choosing 17 lands can be pretty good, but I would say like the way I mean, I'm not to go on a whole 17 lands rant, but I would say I would use it. I don't think you're reducing agency because it's more like double checking your assumptions. And I feel like
Mm,
people sometimes they can waste a lot of time. Like a good like I would say like the perfect example of how you should use 17 lands is like let's say you listen to limited resources and LSV is like this card's really good and you like read the card and you're like it doesn't look that good to me and then you go and check on 17 lands and its win rate's not that good and it's like okay maybe I don't need to believe LSV here but it's like maybe its win rate's good then you check
yeah,
it or like the opposite's true like maybe he calls a card bad like so, sometimes I listen to their set reviews and I'll call a card bad. I'm like, why is that card bad? Seems good to me. And then its win rate will be good. And I'm like then I'm just like 100% like not at all. So it's almost like checking the assumptions. It's like, okay, like I'm not really concerned that LSV is calling this card bad. He's probably going to change his mind later because now that the data is this. So it's almost like checking. But like sometimes I'll hear people
yeah,
arguing and they'll be like, oh, what common is better, this common or that common? And it's like you just know they haven't checked the data because you just know the data discrepancy is huge. Like I would view 17 lands. It's just like giving you something like if a card is really good win rate data, it's just like think about why. If a card is low data, think about why. Like for example, with sparring dummy, like if its data is really good, I would kind of believe it. I'd be like, okay, play it. And also you can check the different decks because all the different archetypes want different decks. Like it shows the different color pairs, so you can see if it's like only good in one pair or like how it performs in the various color pairs. But I think it's like a
yeah,
pretty good tool to just be like it can help like just check like there's a weird uncommon and it's like oh if its win rate's really bad then now you know that like if you want to play it be really intentional with it and if its win rate's really good it's like okay you should probably play it because you might think the card's bad but it's actually good if it's a weird card or whatever
okay,
um
love that. Yeah,
And obviously there's like a lot of ways to go into it. But yeah, like I remember with Dali agents, not to go too much of a tangent, but like LSV was saying, "Oh, this card's so good," and I was like, "Yeah, I don't know, like maybe 10 years ago. I mean, obviously it's fine." And then, and then I was like, I don't know. It's just like I don't know. I think he's being a bit optimistic on this one. And then I see its data, like it's kind of good, but it's not like insane, you know. So I'm like that's a good example, like of that anyway.
Yeah.
Or yeah, like invasion tactics or whatever. But yeah, so that's how I would use it. But yeah, like obviously, like it would take a while to like really read this and be like, is this the right deck for it? Is it powerful here? Because you do get a lot of value in sealed if you're like, okay, sparring dummy is not usually that good, but the way my deck is built, like it fits really well in my deck or whatever. But it's not like self mill is that strong of a theme. Yeah, I mean this pool looks pretty like rough. I guess to
Yeah.
start. Because like these cards aren't like that good. Like you have a mythic, but you don't like have any other green cards unless like you wanted to play sparring dummy or whatever. And like most of these gold cards are not that good. Like this one's kind of good, but it's not like your whites that deep anyway. Like it's kind of weird. Like Momo Playful Pet is like
Right.
kind of strong, but it kind of wants you to like airbend it or like have water bend. A lot of
Oh, I hadn't even considered that. The synergies with Momo and airbending. Yeah, that's pretty interesting.
yeah, because I read the card. I'm like, this card doesn't look that good, but its win rate's good. And then I was like, oh, you can airbend it, so you get the trigger from it
Yeah, I
leaving.
Wow. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that at all.
And also, like,
Yeah.
with waterbend, just being 1 mana means it's like really good at accelerating your waterbend and whatever. Yeah, I mean, I guess your blue, you have these other things like Grand. Like, this is the kind of card that LSV will say is insane, and then I'll just like double check the data
Yeah.
just to be like, you know, is he right about that one? Um, yeah, so I mean, it's kind of funny again because like, yeah, you have like some mana fixing. I like these land you have some mana fixing, but it's like the Bender's Water Skin's kind of a card you don't really want to play, so you kind of need to be paid off for playing it. It's like, what's your payoff for splashing? Yeah, you're like, I don't know. I mean, you do blue black. I mean, I don't think I can say anything that insightful about this pool. I mean, it looks kind of rough, and like I mean, I could take a while trying to go through it and like trying to figure something else. But my first impression is like maybe I'd look at something black green. You get, I don't know, like maybe there's something in black green, but it's kind of rough because like like I guess I mean it's kind of hard because I don't want to make this about seal too much. But like I don't know, like let's say it just quickly like brought in all the black green cards because like let's say you're like, oh, the black green quality looks kind of good because I have traps and whatever and blah blah blah. But then you look at it and you're like, oh, I'm kind of a bad like Rocky Rebuke's supposed to be good, but maybe I'm a bad Rocky Rebuke deck because like I don't have any creatures because like black
Right.
doesn't have creatures and like my green like doesn't have creatures and it's like okay like now my Rocky Rebukes which are supposed to be good are like not that good, so it's kind of weird. And then like yeah, so I don't know, like a lot of it's like I mean I think I had some notes before about like draft and sealed, but it's like kind of a mix of like I mean I would say that limited for me it's kind of a mix of like as I said, why am I in this color? But then it's also like people like to throw around. They like to say draft. Like build a deck. Don't build a pile of cards, but build a deck or whatever. And kind of what it means is like you want to have cohesion with your cards, right? Like take a village, like take a card like Earth Village Ruffians. This card's not very good, but like if you have a bunch of sacrifice, like if you have a bunch of synergy with it, then you can take a card that's not that good and make it better. Like I said, it's the same as Rocky Rebuke. Like it's pretty good. Like how cohesively does it fit in your deck? So obviously those are the questions. And the curve. Like I think people really, really, I think like probably one of the biggest things people miss is like the importance of curve. Uh, because like I guess I would say like one thing is I think there's too much emphasis on like this card's good, this card's bad, but people don't stop to be like, why is this card good? Why is this card bad? Usually, if a card's good, it's because it's efficient, which means it's mana efficient. So like if you have a good curve,
Yeah.
that's just like if you don't have a good curve, you're just not taking advantage of the fact that card's mana efficient. Like a way I would explain it is like if somebody goes 2 drop 2 drop, like let's say your hand you go 2 drop, then 2 drop, then 4 drop, then 4 drop, and your opponent goes 2 3 4 5, if your cards are better, you're gonna be behind just because their cards are more expensive. Like the reason your cards are better, you're not getting value
I
because they're not
see.
mana
Wow.
efficient. So it's like
Yeah.
very yeah, like it's very important to like have a good curve. Obviously, it's contextual, but like it's more downstream of being mana efficient. Like okay, you have a good 2 drop, but what if you just have no 3 drops and now you're just gonna play a 2 drop on turn three, so your opponent's 3 drop's not even that good. Yeah, so that I think that's pretty important to be aware of. So I do like you don't want to overvalue curve because I guess one thing that's unique about sealed compared to draft is like what I would call impact, like how much impact a card has. Because like in sealed, people are like, you don't want to play cards that are too low impact. Like maybe there's a card that's good on your curve, but it's just very unlikely to like I guess impact the outcome of a game. So it's like, okay, I'm playing a 2-drop, but what if it doesn't even do anything for me in my game plan? So that's in sealed that balances it more. That's why people might have wonkier curves because they're like, I'd rather play a higher impact cards even if it, whatever. But those are kind of what I'd be thinking about in like sealed. I'd be like, what's my curve? Is my deck like cohesive, trying to do something? I think you can get like a really big edge in sealed when you like lean into the cohesive stuff because a lot of people are like there might be a card that's not very good, but it like has synergy with a couple of your cards, and then you can really make something out of it. And especially what I was saying before, like you
Yeah.
get so much value from your worst cards in your deck that it like you get really paid off for doing that. I don't know. I guess I could refresh this link just to see the blue black deck you built because I don't know. Like if it was me on like the directs, I'd probably like spend like half an hour and then be like thinking I'm just gonna O2 and whatever.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I ultimately felt like the only real consistent synergy I can get was the like the June obsessive pursuit thing, like blue tokens, make big creatures, and then a little bit of like, water bending to possibly play out the benevolent river spirit, like play some cards that are conducive to that, like the battle fan and stuff like that. It didn't feel great though, but I also am a bit of a coward. Like, I don't like if the fixing isn't like almost pre-built, like I often like, yeah, the that 3-drop, the Bender's water skin, like just didn't feel good, and I just didn't. I didn't want to end up in a situation where I'm like, I need these 3 drops so I can play my 6 drops or whatever. And I don't know, maybe that wasn't correct, but yeah, I just opted to go for like this sort of sacrifice slash like clue making synergy. And yeah, I think I even added 2 lands in there that don't really belong in there, like the just to have more like sacrifice and draw outlets.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I like these lands. I feel like they're like, I like playing them in the off-color decks because like when you have synergy, it's so good with it. I mean, one thing I could see is like like it's kind of funny because you're almost mono block basically. That's how you built the deck, and it kind of makes sense. Like
Yeah.
these, the 3-drops are fine. You have removal, as you said. You have a couple cards that can win by themselves, like June and whatever the pursuit. Like, so it makes it harder to play double blue cards. But I could have seen like maybe like did you consider these double blue cards, or were you like they're too hard to cast?
Yeah, I guess Ember Island Productions, like I felt like, and this is probably not correct. I don't know, but like what am I duplicating? And like none of the cards seemed exciting to duplicate, and so like I'd have to really depend on my opponent playing something exciting so I can copy that. And then honestly, I think I just completely misinterpreted Professor Zai, however you pronounce it. Like I don't know. I just saw that card and didn't feel like it was good. And maybe this is one area where, yeah, like looking at 17 lands data or something, like could have told me something different, or like, you know uh, contradicted my own biases. But yeah, and that card, like, I guess you don't even. I mean, it loots, right? Like, so I could draw, and that does synergize pretty well as I think through it a bit. Like, it actually would have worked like really well with like the June, for example.
And a
Help me get the
hawk.
answers. Like, yeah, the hawk. Like, and I got 2 of them. So yeah, actually, the more I think about it, like I
And you
don't think
can
I was
buy back
necessarily
sold.
trying to stay off
Yeah.
of double blue. I mean, I have the benevolent, right? So
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess I would say like one like with I feel like you have some decent creatures to copy because like you have Messenger Hawk, so it becomes like like if you like this card just kind of
hmm
want to copy his ETBs because it makes it a 4/4. So like you can make a 4/4 Messenger Hawk that makes a clue
oh
like
wow,
and then it becomes
I
six
didn't see
power when it
that.
flies. And like you have Corrupt Court Official, so it's like 4/4. They discard a card. You can
Yeah.
you
Wow,
know
you're right. Yeah.
copy, yeah, like the desk triggers. Like also fortune teller is obviously good because it's 4/4 that makes a clue. I mean, the big downside of the card is that it makes a token, so they can airbend it. But it is like you don't have any 5-drops. That's one thing I'm thinking with curve. So like it's turn 5. What's your turn 5 going to
Yeah.
be? I mean, you can sack clues, so you have stuff to do, so it's fine. And this card's like not that amazing, but like yeah, like That's one thing I would note. Yeah, the Zai's kind of weird because I do think it's pretty good, but part of why it's good is playing it on turn two. And if you can't play it on turn two, it loses some of its appeal. Because yeah, I mean, it's just kind of a card. Like if it's in play, like I don't know, like you're probably not going to flutter screw. That's kind of powerful, and you can also it's like like you can sack it to buy something back. Like it's a like it's like
Yeah.
I mean yeah. So it's kind of a card that I like. It's also like if you talk about in terms of impact, this is like a very high impact card for because it can like it has a very high impact on the game. I mean, in multiple ways, but because like anyway, so yeah, but I don't know if I would want to play it because it's double blue. And that's one thing with your mana is like kind of weird because it's like you almost like could consider like playing like an extra swamp and cutting an island, but like I guess not really. It's kind of tricky again because of this double blue. But like if you look at the sources here, well, I guess it's messed up because you have all these gold cards.
Right.
But like it's kind of funny because this is almost a mono black
Yeah,
deck.
because like the ruffians is basically just black in this deck, right? So are the pox bearers. So you're
Yeah.
right. Yeah, it's a lot of black.
So like if like one thing I would like do is like if this was the shell here, I would be like okay like if I was another color I would just like pull out the cards to see if there's anything playable. But I guess it's too low. But like let's say if it was red, I would just pull out like random red cards and be like is there anything here? You know I don't even know if that card's good. Maybe if you this is like a card that's like it's probably bad, but like if you have enough lessons, then it could be good. Um,
Yeah.
So then you can just kind of compare because then like yeah you can compare next to each other. It's like okay what do I prefer like these blue cards or these red cards? But it's like yeah this dragons doesn't even do anything in your deck. I mean you like it doesn't do the copy mode or whatever in your deck. But anyway that's kind of yeah something I would do. I'd be like okay how the mana base whatever. But yeah looks fine. I mean like I would definitely be like
So
yeah.
uh, the like looking at curve, like if you could have for a draft or sealed deck like the ideal curve, like in terms of number of cards, like what would you what would you be aiming for? Like, are you looking for like 8 2 drops? You know what I'm saying? Like, 4 3 drops or whatever. Granted, I think you're right. It's very difficult sometimes in sealed to like, to build the perfect curve. But like, what would the ideal, distribution be?
Um, I mean, I would just say to put it broad, like to give a broad answer, I would just say like in trying to maximize mana efficiency, like trying to maximize using my mana every turn. And yeah, considering those trade-offs. So it's like, too many two drops can be a downside because if your hand is all two drops, then it's kind of awkward. So it's just kind of like
Yeah.
I want to be able to like, and also it can depend, on the format. Like let's say, if it's a more aggressive format, you might be more interested in like, oh, I just want a two drop that's like not that good, like good in my deck, but it's just like a whatever thing. But often those so I guess I would say, yeah, I'm just like it's not a preset curve, but it's like if it's turn four, it's nice to have a four drop, but I also probably don't want two four drops in my opening hand, and like I don't mind having like a couple five drops. Like I think that's something like people underrate because like LSV used to always say five drops are bad, but like the first five drops are actually
Yeah.
really good because like you're gonna like it's limited. Like you're gonna play turn five, and the best play on turn five is usually a five drop, and like even a six drop's probably good. So like I guess I would say like I probably value higher card curve costs higher. Yeah, like I think people tend to underrate like four drops and five drops, especially because like a lot of people have this approach of like oh four drops and five drops are not that good, but but like it's actually kind of the opposite. It's I actually kind of like four drops and five drops are so good that you can get whichever one and it doesn't matter. So I guess that's kind of like a weird way of saying it, and maybe that's the wrong way of saying it. But it's more like having four drops and five drops in your deck are important. But like the reason like LSV or whatever would say that it's not that important is because they're like you can only play so many, right? Like like you only like let's say ideally let's just say it's two five drops. Let's say ideally you want two five drops. So like if there's a you're not under as much pressure to pick five like that's what people always say, right? But it is still important to have five drops and four drops in your deck. Like what I mean is like let's say you're drafting and you have like no four drops and then you see a four drop, or like let's say you're building a sealed deck and you have no four drops, like adding random four drops is actually very high value because of what I'm talking about efficiency. Like a reason a four drop isn't that good is because it's not that efficient. But if you're not going to have a four drop on turn four anyway, then like an inefficient 4 drop is still the most efficient thing you can do. So like I would say that I
Yeah.
want to have some 4 drops. Like I usually like I would want to have like usually I would say like at least 4 drops because like I probably want to like draw 4 drop every game. Obviously it depends on your deck, but generally like I want to have like 4 to 5 4 drops at least. I feel like because if I have three, I'm not gonna have it. And also like sometimes I might not pseudo count it because like sold out, it's not exactly a 4 drop. It's like kind of like a like it's not a card you always want to cast on turn 4. I guess I would say. So I almost view it a little like not completely a 4 drop. So I
Yeah.
guess yeah, like I like to have a decent amount of top end because like I want to scale into the late game, keep having things to do. And I guess like I would say the one thing I realize about 2 drops is personally I really like 2 drops that have utility in the late game because like the downside of a 2 drop is that they're supposed to be bad in the late game. Like you can think of a 2 mana like 3/2 or whatever is like pretty good on turn 2, but not that good in the late game. So like any 2 drop that does stuff in the late game, I'm automatically I feel like it's kind of I don't know broken in a way because 2 drops are not supposed to be impactful in the late game. So like if you can play so like I really like any 2 drops that are good in the late game, and then the trade off just becomes okay like how bad like the worst 2 drops are the 2 drops that aren't that good in the late game, right? So then you're kind of like
Yeah, I see.
then you're like okay how
So
yeah
yeah, like so an example would be I forget the name, but that green two drop where you can exhaust it for six and get like a another two plus one counters and like earthbend the lands or something like that, right? Like mana sinks in the late game basically.
yeah yeah like that card obviously like it's not like a broken card and I probably like it might not even be that good because like maybe it's just templated all around too badly but like I mean like a card like
Yeah.
June which is kind of like wow like this can the whole game like yeah just anything that can have impact in the late game and that isn't dead like in a board stall like basically cards that have impact when the board is stalling in the late game or like whatever or like doesn't just get brick walled by your opponent having a bigger creature those cards are pretty nice like even like a yeah, just any card that has
Yeah.
utility in a board stall in the late game is pretty nice. And then the kind of trade off is like you're like if you don't have access to those, it's like okay, how many weaker 2 drops do I need to play just because I want to do something on turn 2, and also obviously then there's like synergy or cohesion with your deck. Like if you have a lot of combat tricks, that quote unquote bad 2 drops get better. Like if you have a bunch of combat tricks, then a 2 mana 3/2 is pretty good because you want to cast it on your combat tricks, and it has like what I mean. So there's things like that. But I
Yeah.
would say like I mostly like my main curve is I just want to be mana efficient. I don't want to have dead mana. That like I want to spend my
Yeah.
mana through the game, and yeah, that's kind of how I look at the curve. Because like basically, if you have dead mana, it's just you're losing a resource in a way. So not to get too carried away with it, but that's kind of how I look at it. But anyway, yeah.
No,
So
that's really good. So like if I'm looking at like this current list in that context, it's basically nine two drops, right? Like removing the benevolent, which is really like a kind of like a seven drop, to some extent. And so the only ones that I'm really sinking mana into late game, it's June, Obsessive Pursuit. I guess that's it, right? Like everything else is either kind of just filler or it's some ETB or like weird like um, delayed value or something like that. So not a lot of mana sinks in this deck beyond like really two or three cards. Looking across the entire curve.
yeah, I would say the Pox Bearers is like a good example of a card that's like pretty low impact late in the game. But like if you have a lot of sacrifice synergies, then it can get better again. Like if you play this card on turn 5, it's gonna feel horrible. But if you have a June in play, maybe it does something. But like I would say this card's like a pretty good 2 drop that's like relevant in the late game. Like if you top deck this, it's top deck mode. You top deck this, it's like it's much better than
Yeah.
Pox Bearers, right? And like there's some weird ones like Abandoned Enchantments is not exactly a 2 like you can count it as a 2 drop, but it doesn't really impact the board. So it's kind of like sold out in a way. It's kind of like I'm not gonna think of this as like it's kind of weird.
That's a good takeaway. Yeah, because like I have a habit. I mean, this is really helpful because I have a habit of I'm not looking at like two drops and or whatever mana value and whether or not it's actually impacting the board or really let's call it like a proactive card like it's a creature or an enchantment or something like that that does something. And I mean that's really helpful. Like I haven't really been looking at it that way, and so when I look at like my fourth drop slot, um, I really only have like one creature, and it's not a good creature, right? Like the other two, the sold outs, it's pretty reactive. Um, Not even a guarantee that I'm really going to play it on turn 4, or if that's even what I want to be doing, I guess.
Yeah, and like I mean, like to a degree, they are real as four drops in the sense that like if you have your opening hand and you have sold out in it, having more four drops can be awkward for your curve. But it's also like as you're saying, like I would view it like maybe 80 or 90% as a four drop, or you know what I mean, or like if you have like,
Yeah, I see.
or like you can kind of count it as a pseudo six drop, like something like Azula. You're not going to cast this on turn two most of the time, so I'm not. It's not really exactly a two drop. It's more like it's kind of like a card you want to cast on turn four, turn five, you know. And abandoned attachments is weird because it's like a cantrip, two drop, which is kind of like a weird form of a two drop. But anyway, so that's kind of how I would look at it. And yeah, it looks fine. I mean, the only things I would have considered is maybe this or that. I mean, I feel like people don't play these enough, so I think it's good to play it. And maybe I could see considering the Rumble Arena maybe in your deck. Um, maybe it's better than an island. I don't know. Uh, it's kind of. I mean, I probably like this card more than most people, but I could see maybe considering it. I don't know if it's worth playing though. But yeah.
What's the like? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Like, what's the value of this card? Like, are you looking at the vigilance and like the earthbend stuff with like the ruffians, or is it more about like the ETB scry or the mana filtering?
Yeah, it's like a little bit of all of it. Like I think the Scribe one on a land's pretty powerful because it's just gonna help you basically, like if you yeah, like I value the Scry, decently highly. Like obviously you have to keep in mind when is it too bad, but like it's pretty appealing. The vigilance is kind of appealing because um like if you have if you earthbend on it, obviously this isn't the best deck at earthbending. You only have like a couple cards, but it's like not nothing. Like you would factor it as something very small. And like the mana fixing mode, obviously in a two color deck, it's not the best. But like let's say you're a mono black deck that doesn't have that many blue spells, then maybe cutting an island for this is kind of nice because then it like this card basically can like increases your like consistency, but might maybe makes you a bit slower sometimes. But like maybe I would play it over an island because I don't have that many blue cards, and like the scry one like can be yeah. So it's like a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Like yeah,
Well,
but yeah. So yeah, we can look at some games. I don't know if you said you recorded the
yeah,
replays.
yeah. Let me pull up some of these games. So I'll share screen. Okay. Can you see the screen?
Um, yeah,
How does it look? Is the aspect ratio okay?
yeah, looks fine to me. Looks like
Okay.
yeah, you said prelim. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so this is a prelim. This is, I think, round two. Um, so here I'm on the draw, and I kept this five land hand. So I don't know. Maybe we could talk through that decision to start. So
Yeah.
yeah, hold on, trying to figure out how to control this thing. Okay. Yeah, so I chose to keep this. I don't even remember. I think it's because the obsessive pursuit. I just felt like, oh, that'll draw me out of, whatever issues, and I'm on the draw, so I'm going to see another card. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, probably the the question I asked that makes it easier to mulligan is I just asked myself, if I saw this hand on six cards, how would I feel? Because I feel that can reveal a lot. Because probably one of the hardest things about mulliganing is when people have a hand that's like mediocre, but they don't know if it's bad enough to mulligan. But if you're like, if I saw this card on if I saw this hand on six cards and I felt bad about it, then your average six is probably better. Um, then there's also other questions. It gets weird and sealed and limited because sometimes you're like different deck like you know might value like oh do you really have bet like maybe your deck's not that good so your win rate's not even that high anyway or like is it getting much better or like maybe your deck really wants to keep seven because you need to hit your land drops like if you have a lot of like seven drops and stuff. um yeah, I mean, when I look at this hand, although I like something I like to do, like I think it's a good practice, or maybe not a good practice, but like if you're like analyzing your mulligans, it's just trying to like guess what the win rate of the hand will be. Because I know some people, and I'll see them post hands, and I won't. All I'll say is, "What do you think the win rate of that hand is?" And then they'll be like
Yeah.
30%. I'm like, okay, then like you should probably mulligan it. So the like that was a really bad hand. So this hand's kind of like interesting because this is kind of a hand that's like you first look at it and you're like, okay, I got a 2-drop and a 3-drop and they're good, and I have my colors. So like the first instinct's like, okay, this hand's good. But then you think for a second and you're like, well, it's kind of slow because my 2-drop is like kind of slow, and like I could fall behind, and like what if it's turn 4, and whatever. So then you're like, okay, so like I don't know if I had to guess the win rate of this hand, it would be like also like I would say there's like doing an estimation, like it's kind of hard. Like I want to say like somewhere close to 50. Like I don't know if it's 40, I don't know if it's 60, I don't know what it is
Yeah.
exactly. It doesn't seem that good, but like it does feel like you don't want to be too aggressive because like if you mulligan hands that are good, that can be really really bad. So that's probably why people are scared of mulliganing. And it's also like is your deck getting that much better? Like you don't want to be like too conservative in the way like one big mistake a lot of people will make is that a lot of Magic players play way too conservative because they just think they're better than the opponent, so they just assume they're ahead from the second one. Okay, so like I'll explain what I mean. Let's say you're playing against like Paulo or Javier or whoever you think the best player is. You're playing against John Finkel and you see this hand. You might be less anxious to keep it because you already feel bad about your chances to win anyway, and you're like, well, I got a
Right.
plan here. I got a rare and a 3-drop. But like, let's say you're playing at FNM against like the worst player of all time. People are going to be sweating if they should keep or mull this hand because it's pretty easy to imagine how this hand can lose, but it's also not that bad. Like so,
Yeah.
it's you can probably see things more objectively if you just imagine your opponent's like bet is like not horrible. You know what I mean? Because like it's like then that'll help because
Yeah.
it's like okay, if I was against Javier, yeah, I'd probably keep this because like I can't just mulligan to the nuts against Javier. Plus I have my rare, maybe that'll cheese him. So I don't know. I mean, this hand's kind of hard. Like if I was playing the arena thing, I'd probably click keep. Like you draw a card every turn. I don't know. It's kind of weird because like again, if you analyze it, it's like it also comes down to like how good Obsessive Pursuit is, and I guess it's like it's not clear, but it's probably pretty good because if you draw any creature, you can lifelink it. Like a big question of this hand is like how good is this Pursuit? Because like you're gonna play it on turn 2, and part of like the subtle downside is you already have 5 lands, so any other lands you draw are pretty bad. And like when you crack
Right.
clues, you're kind of investing a lot to draw extra cards. So like if you so it kind of almost puts a little bit of it seems like there's a little bit of downside with the Pursuit because it's like I'm drawing extra cards, but I'm going to draw lands, and like drawing the extra lands are going to be really bad because I already have too many lands. Um, so I don't know. Like honestly, like probably the best way to analyze this is where like I might hop onto 17 lands and look at the win rate of Obsessive Pursuit, and like if the win rate in the opening hands is not that good, then I might be like okay, then like maybe it's reasonable to mulligan. But if it has like a really high opening hand win rate, then I'm like okay, I can probably convert the clues or whatever. So I don't know. Like I feel this
That's
hand's
really interesting. Yeah.
yeah, like I feel like this hand's close. I mean, like if somebody said it's great, like the problem with the mulligan this isn't that like this hand's great, but it's like can you really expect to get a better hand? Like for example, like I said, if you saw this hand on 6 cards, then you probably feel pretty decent about it because you're like, okay, I got a solid 6. It's obviously kind of a different context because like the 4th land, like the 5th land does so little that it's almost like a 6, but it's like if I like that's what I would think. Like usually if I'm about to mulligan a hand that looks solid, I'm like, what would I think if I saw this on 6? I'm like, well, if I saw this hand on 6, I'd probably feel pretty good about it. So therefore, it can't be that bad to mulligan it if I would feel good about it on 6. But like if you got super detailed, it would be like, how should I feel about Pursuit in my opening hand? Like if Pursuit has a bad win rate, maybe it's not as good as I think, or whatever. Uh,
Yeah, that's really interesting. So I mean, definitely, didn't consider 17 lands here, but I am looking at it right now, and the opening hand win rate is 58.5%. So I think that's good, right? Like, I mean, I think above. What's the what? Actually, yeah, this is a good question. What's a break point like when you're looking at 17 lands? Like, is above 56 considered usually above average, or
yeah, I would say
are you looking at something?
the average is usually like 55. Sometimes it depends on colors. Like the average is 55. There's a metric that says game not seen win rate. So 58 might actually be kind of high because like black's average win rate might be like 53 or 54. Um,
Yeah,
but I would say 55 is usually the average, and some colors will have higher or lower. And I mean, there's another weird thing is that like part of why Pursuit's good in your opening hand is because like you can play like let's say you can play a creature and then instantly start putting like you don't have a creature right now, so like you can't put the
right.
counters on it or whatever. So that makes it like slightly worse. But like it shows that like Pursuit's just, like that's the core of this hand is like Pursuit's kind of weird to analyze in this hand. But I don't know like
Yeah,
see like I think it's fine to keep like I feel like I guess what I'm trying to say is like I feel like the win rate of this hand is not that high, but also like
Yeah.
I feel like you'd be happy to see this hand on 6. Therefore, like you probably shouldn't mulligan it. And also, as you were saying, like your deck doesn't have actually that many cards that are good besides this pursuit. So like, what are you gonna do? Like cast 3 mana 3/1s and try and win? Like what are the cards that are even good? Like your deck's low on good cards. Like if this was like the
Yeah.
best blue black deck of all time, but also like again, if this was the best blue black deck, then you'd be like, oh well, I have a bunch of good cards to draw. Anyway, so yeah, it seems fine. I guess we can
Yeah.
keep
So
going.
yeah, I was definitely like, okay, I got the best card in the deck, so I'm gonna keep it.
Yeah.
That was my
What?
thought process at the time. Draw another reactive card here.
Yeah. I mean, I was gonna say Azula always lies is interesting because like I could see like not always playing that because like your creatures are kind of small. Like that card is kind of ideally a combat trick, but like you don't
Yeah.
have you don't have that many. Yeah, I guess we can pause here because it's the first choice. But like it's kind of interesting. Like you're not the best at using the combat trick. Like it's at its best when it's like putting a counter on your guy and winning combat. But like your guys aren't the best, and like you also don't use the lesson stuff that well. But like it seems fine. Like also it might be better than I think. Anyway, so yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I guess this is your choice. Yeah, did you think it was obvious here? Like, so I guess your choice is play June or play Pursuit.
I and then yeah, also, I think I felt like the opponent probably had a quench. I don't remember what I did here. Yeah, I don't remember these games at all, but I feel like you run out the June here, put a threat on the board. And the obsessive pursuit isn't really giving me much value on turn 3. And so I'm not going to be able to attack with a Jude, right? On turn 3 and then get a counter off the pursuit because I won't be able to crack a clue. So it just felt like, at least in the moment, I'm not sure if this is what I did, but it felt like maybe I run out the June, and if it gets countered, it's the lesser good card, that gets quenched. I don't know. That's my current thought process. Not sure what I ended up doing. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty, intricate turn, and there's a lot of things you can say about it. I mean, yeah, I mean, you brought up quench is the first thing. So there's like, let me see how to break this down. I mean, I guess the first thing I would keep in mind, like, besides quench, is also like, I mean, an easy way to break down lines is you're like, what can go wrong if I do this? And then you just ask for both of it. So it's like, okay, let's say I play June. What can go wrong? And it's like, well, what if they have a black removal spell that's like a -2, -3? Like, let's say they have like a -3, -3. But I don't think there's any in the format. I mean, I'd have to check, but I'm pretty sure that there's no instant like there's not a black instant speed removal. But if there was, then you might be like, okay, like in the situations where they have that removal spell, then obviously playing June lets them use their mana. Maybe I can deny it by playing Quench. But like that's not really a thing in the
Hmm.
format. So it's almost like there's almost no downside to playing June unless you're like, oh, I need to like get my clues down earlier, or you're like, I need to, something for some reason. But yeah, I mean, it seems reasonable to play June because you're like, okay, what's the upside I'm getting from the pursuit? I mean, there is some upside because it's like, let's say you play June now. The June's also not doing that much either. I mean, it's a 2/2, but you're not like, you're probably going to, like, it's not like it's getting a huge amount of value in play. Because, like, let's say you go this turn, play a 2-drop, then you go turn 3, let's say you play your trap, your 3-drop, and then it's turn 4. And then, like, maybe if you had the pursuit in play, now you'd have more clues or whatever. Or like
Yeah.
maybe they're splashing white and they have like like maybe they have a disenchant for your pursuit or whatever. But like because of quench, also because like your hand, like if they quench your pursuit, it's like your hand is just gonna insta lose. So seems fine to
Yeah.
play June based on like if they quench my pursuit, it's so bad for me, and it's like I'm not even gaining that much by playing the pursuit, and like the most like they're decently likely to have quench because like they didn't play a 2-drop, and like so there's a chance they have quench. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's fine to play the June.
Yeah. So let's see what I did. As I think through this more, I guess, like, just assuming I draw nothing but air, like all lands from here on out, like June, and then, hopefully they play a creature, swamp snare, trap that, and then I could do obsessive pursuit plus crack clue, make June unblockable, give it a +1 counter, and I kind of curve out with the cards I have in my hand. And so I'm not sure if that's what crossed my mind in the moment. Well, let's see what I play. So I did
Yeah,
go with June. I think, yeah, I think it's coming back to me now. I was thinking through like, okay, this is the better curve out.
yeah, they always have it.
And
I don't know.
yeah, well, they actually they sucked me out here. Yeah, I remember this. They played the abandoned attachments.
Okay, they
That
discarded
would have been
the 6 mana cycler, I guess.
Canyon
Okay,
Crawler.
Okay, and they play
Yeah.
this card. Yeah, so it looks like it's gonna play it as that. Like you probably want to kill this. I mean, you could technically attack first. What's kind of a funny, I mean, I guess it's not worth talking about that much. Like technically, I guess it's like kind of you could be like, oh, should you attack first? But then if maybe it puts them in mind that you have
Yeah.
a combat trick, or you could do it, but it's pretty minor either way. It's just kind of funny game theory thing, I guess, of like, do you just play the snare to deny the decision, or do you try and like let them play into your Azula lies thing? It
I
probably kind
hadn't
of
considered that. Yeah.
it kind of depends how
But
good you think your opponent is. Like if you think your opponent's not that good, then you might attack. But if you think you're against like like insanely good player, like Paulo, and it's the finals of worlds, then you might be like, oh, maybe I want to diminish the chance they think I have Azula's lies in my hand or whatever. Sorry, what were you saying?
yeah. Yeah, no, I was gonna try to tap more into that because I don't think I considered Azula here. Maybe I did, but so attacking gives them some information that I have a combat trick. There's a bit of a mind game there, right? Like because I give up that information, but maybe they choose to block because they want to deny me advancing the board or something to that effect. Like they don't know what else is in my hand, and like how much value is there in like I can't advance the board in this position, but how much value is there in actually having them possibly trade or aim to trade or get a card out of my hand if it essentially time walks me to an extent, like I don't advance the board for the turn.
Yeah, I mean, it's also kind of one thing that's tricky and subtle too. Is like it's not even it's I mean maybe it is obvious because then it will be more obvious, but like it's not like depending what your opponent's hand is, there are games where it's actually better to play trap and just keep the Azula for later for maybe next turn because then you can like go two drop. Um, but
Oh
that's
yeah.
so like it's not even like it's not like 100% clear if it's better to Azula your guy than it is to trap, but it probably is, based on how things are gonna pan out, I guess. Like it's the Azula like if you again think what can go wrong, like what can go wrong with having Azula lies in hand or whatever. Like there's a decent chance you can't get value out of it because like it just doesn't come up. It's pretty easy to get value out of the trap, but what's like the downside of the trap? It costs more mana, so like you can't double spell, but maybe that's fine. You just play it on turn 5. But anyway, like I mean, I would probably attack. The only reason like I would consider not is like if I knew, because also your opponent doesn't necessarily know how good you are either. I mean, also again, this is like where format knowledge can matter too. Because like
Yeah.
let's say literally the only possible trick you could have is Azula lies, then like to most good players, then they should like really good like somebody who's really aware of the format. Then they'll be like, okay, I think my opponent has Azula lies because that's literally all it can be. But also like most people probably don't look at all the instant speed tricks or whatever, like are that familiar with the format. But anyway, so like I guess what I'm saying is like, yeah, like that's an argument to play trap, but it's kind of marginal. It's not going to come up a lot. I mean, if it was me, my intuition would be just attack because like a lot of people might block because like that's like because like number one, June's really good. They might feel like they can't beat it. Maybe as you're saying, they want to stop you from playing a creature. Maybe like whatever. Like maybe their hand is just like maybe they have a grave digger to get their guy back, so they think it's good for them to block or whatever. So like yeah,
Yeah.
I would lean to blocking, but it's just I guess it's just keeping in mind like what does it mean if you attack first? But it's pretty minor. But yeah, like so it seems fine. So yeah, you could attack. You could also
Yeah.
play the trap. I was saying I guess. So we'll see what
So let's see
happens.
what I went with here.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure, yeah, I played the trap. Didn't bother attacking,
yeah,
and then got the 2 points of damage.
yeah. So now it's their turn. Okay, so they play Tiger Seal and this 2/4. Okay, that's a pretty good turn for them, I guess. And yeah, here we can kind of feel the pain of using the trap. I mean, I guess they didn't have to
Yeah.
block, but like this guy would be kind of tempting to take down. Um, yeah, it's kind of interesting here. I mean, I guess your option. I mean, yeah, what were you thinking here? I guess.
um, I think I was thinking. Okay, so it's either obsessive pursuit or so. I guess there's three lines, right? Obsessive pursuit is one of them, and then I can try to attack, and I mean I think that would be a bad attack, right? Like we could trade one creature for one, um, and I'm just kind of left, with a poxbearer after that,
Yeah,
on
well, you get kind of
my
two for
turn.
one because you have to use your trick, right?
Right, it's 2 for 1. I haven't even thought of it that way, so that
Unless,
actually seems like a really bad exchange.
yeah, like I guess first you can be like, can I attack? And it's like, no, you can't really attack because if you Azulalize, it's just horrible for you. It's like the only reason to attack is if you're like
Yeah.
super well, if you're like, oh, it's a disaster, like I need to remove this 2/4, but you know, if they do double block, you are gonna 2-for-1 yourself. I mean, it depends how much you value removing the 2/4. I guess the 2/4 is kind of scary because like you can't block it, and like you have this obsessive pursuit. So like maybe you're fine 2-for-winning yourself because like blue black usually doesn't have the best threats. So like you know like maybe whatever. So it's like it's not insane to consider it, but yeah, like my first intuition would be just like play pursuit and play the poxbearers, and then next turn you can get the triple sacks
Yeah.
thing maybe because you can like sack the poxbearers to the thing, sack 2 clues, swing for 5 lifelink. I mean you don't have to do that, but like let's say they tap out for like a 5-mana 4/3 or whatever. Uh, you
Yeah,
know.
I think that's what I ended up doing. I thought like it's gonna be Pursuit, Poxbearers, and then with 5 mana I have enough to turn on Lifelink and get 3 counters for June next turn. And it's basically it's a 5/5 unblockable Lifelink, and hopefully I don't lose June, and that's just good enough. So let's see what I ended up doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they could play the 4-mana water bending thing or whatever, and then they could.
Oh yeah, I hadn't considered the. See, that's another thing that I need to get better about. Like really, I do a lot of thinking about what I should do. I don't think much about what the opponent could do, which is
Okay,
definitely
they
an area of
pass.
Improvement here.
Oh
Yeah, so they
yeah,
pass here. Looks like I drew a swamp, right?
yeah.
Turn.
I mean, I would say overall it's probably like it's probably a mistake people make is they think too much about what their opponent can do and then they don't think about what they can do. But I'm almost thinking about like what they can do in terms of my own proactive, I guess, but not getting carried away with it. But yeah. Um, so yeah, so it's like I mean yeah, here there's a lot of 5-mana instants that are legal in the format. So it's like the most likely there's like Lost Days, there's Haiku, whatever, so Haiku, and then there's like 2 Mythic rares basically. So I guess you hope they don't have the Mythics, I guess. Um,
Yeah, so I think so. I mean, in this position, do we go for it? So okay, I drew the Battle Fan for turn. Like I could just, I guess. I mean, there's an op. Yeah, I mean, they probably have a trick. There's an opportunity to try to cheese them out of, like get them 2-for-1 myself, but then get the Foggy off the board. Maybe with the Pox Bearer or something. I think a competent opponent would not take that block.
yeah, I feel like
Um,
yeah, I feel like it's too. It feels like the thing is okay. You can say let's say they don't have let's say they don't have lost days or sold out. It's like
mhm.
what like it comes to mana efficiency because it's like if they don't have a play this turn, that's probably really good for you. So it's almost good in a way to kind of like assume they have a play, not completely. Like you don't want to get too carried away with it, but that's why I'd be like more like I'd lean more towards they probably have a play because if they don't have a play, then you know what I mean. That's already good for me. Um,
Yeah,
and who knows? Maybe it's
that
a
makes
band.
sense. Yeah.
So it's like, so I guess I'd be thinking. I mean, it's kind of tricky because if you look at your options, like yeah, the Azula Lies isn't really doing a lot to like you don't really. It's pretty awkward to cast into 5 mana, and like if you play the Battle Fan, then you're gonna have unspent mana. Like the tension here is like you kind of want to use all 5 mana, but you don't necessarily want to sack a creature to what's her name, June or whatever. So that's kind of what becomes a big decision. I mean, and then another decision too is like, oh, what if they have counter spells? Like let's say they have Haiku Poetry or whatever that card's called, then it's like maybe that means casting your Battle Fan is worse. It's like, oh, maybe in some part of your mind you're like, oh, maybe I should like crack my clues so that they can't use mana on that, but then maybe it's worth against something else. I mean, I guess something else I would say also is like for example, maybe you're like, oh, I should start the turn by cracking a clue. Then it's like, what's the downside to that? It's like, well, what if they have quench and then they quench my Battle Fan? And it's like, oh, do I care? So like you have to weigh all those kind of things, I guess. But
Right. Yeah.
I would kind of lean to they probably have something because if they have nothing, then I'm probably going to win or whatever. So yeah, I'm just thinking here. Yeah, it's kind of tough. Like again, like it's almost nice to like start the turn by cracking the clue because then that would be good against that gives you the out to draw 3 drop, for example. Because it would be great to like draw 3 drop, Um, and
Yeah.
and so then you just need to weigh those. I guess as long as it's close, like that's what like I feel like that's something Paulo used to say. You might have heard it before. It's like he's not as much trying to find the perfect line, but just trying to like avoid like bad lines that make no sense. So it's like maybe you crack the clue because you want to give yourself the out to draw 3-drop, and then they quench it and you feel bad, but it's like okay, at least like that wasn't like there was a reason I did that, right? Because it's like let's say you play the battle fan first, and then you crack the clue, and then it's like okay, maybe you want to sack the whatever it's called. Maybe you want to sack the 1/1 token so that you can get 2 sacrifice triggers on your whatever it's called, peasant or what is that? That's yeah. I can't something
Yeah.
pretending poxbearer. Okay,
Yeah. Pox
I was like, yeah. So it's kind of interesting because, like, yeah. So I mean, I don't think I would go all in here because Lost Days is like probably the most common card they could have, and it's the best for them. I mean, there are lines you could be like really Giga Brain and be like, oh, I can never even beat Lost Days, but I think you can, even though it would be pretty good, for them here because it enables their stuff or whatever. But yeah, like I don't know, my first intuition, like if it was me, maybe I would want to like start by cracking the clue because I don't really like any of the plays I have, and like I kind of want to find a three
Yeah.
drop. Like you have a lot of 3 drops, it would be a good turn to play them, and it's kind of awkward because like you could also do something like you could crack both your clues and then attack with the 4/3 and like play a land, and then
Oh,
like
interesting.
if they try and use removal on your 4/3, then you can sacrifice it with the June, and also you can attack with your June probably. I don't know if that thing has to attack alone or whatever because like the June is unblockable. But like because the problem right now is
Yeah.
with your Poxbearer is like you cannot attack with the Poxbearer unless it has 2 sacrifice things because of their 2/4. But so like you can either sack both clues or you can sack a clue, play the fan, and then sack the 1/1 to the fan. But like maybe you value the 1/1 because you have all these clues, so it's kind of board presence or whatever. Um, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. It's kind of close. Like I guess if it was me, maybe I would start the turn by sacking the clue and trying to find a 3-drop because of that. But it's obviously kind of hard trying to navigate. There's a lot going on. Yeah, I don't know if you want to add anything.
So yeah, yeah, I have a feeling. Yeah, I remember going for the clue first. I have a feeling I basically went all in. I think. I don't remember, but as I'm thinking, like the line where you're attacking with a poxbearer is really neat. Like I don't think I considered that at all. You lose a little bit of like lifelink value, I guess, but like I don't think that matters at all at this point. Like 18 to 18, there's this will probably be a bit of a longer game. I'm sure I'll get more of that value later with the obsessive pursuit, but yeah, I don't remember what was going through my mind here. I want to say that like I don't know. I think I just assumed that the opponent basically had nothing in hand. Like they didn't play like a turn 4 play, if I remember correct, or a turn 2 play. Then they led with like a 1-drop, which they must have drawn, I assume, right? Like on the prior turn, because otherwise they probably would have led with that. Even turn 2. Maybe the abandoned attachments was really important. Um, but I think for whatever reason in my mind at the time, I thought that they just didn't have anything. I don't know. Let's see. So I cracked the
Yeah,
clue.
I mean, I would say the thing about assuming anything is actually one thing that's interesting is like the more when you do things here, it does give you information, right? Because like one of the cards they could have, there's the 5 mana flash rare. That's like Leo. That's like a Narset kind of. So like
Oh, right. Yeah.
so like, but you get information because if you crack the clue, well, first of all, you're probably not going to win anyway. But like, you actually get information, right? Because if you crack the clue, and there's like a decent chance they're going to play it so that they can just lock in their card, right? I mean,
Right.
they won't always, but they're
That's a
like,
really good point.
yeah, they're like 80 or 90%. But also the other thing is like, let's say they have a counter spell like Haiku's Poetry or whatever it's called, or whatever, or Quench. What if you go to play the Battle Fan and they counter it? Then you have the information. Like you get more. Like yeah, I mean, kind of. I would lean to like assuming they have something because it's my perspective is like if they don't have anything, you're probably going to win the game. So like you should probably think they have something.
Yeah.
I guess it comes down to like how ahead or behind you are, or whatever. And but anyway, so yeah, so you start by cracking the clue. Yeah,
Yeah. No, that's a really good point. Like I love the just
yeah, and if
play
they
it
have that,
if they have something.
yeah. So yeah, you can attack with the
So
yeah.
yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So I just went for the safe attack with June, I guess. Put a counter on it. I have the Azula up, although I don't think I'm incentivized to play that.
Yeah, because it
And
can't
then
even
probably
block.
play the Yeah.
Battle
Probably
Fan,
play the fan, leave a blue up, and bluff the
Octopus.
the hexproof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems fine to play the fan here. Yeah. And pass. And like, what's this? Okay. Oh, yeah, they have that even.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that one.
Yeah, I forgot about that too. Um,
Yeah, that's interesting, I guess. Okay. So, yeah. Uh, okay, they play this so they can sack their 3/3, I guess.
probably maybe
Yeah.
sacrifice a
Oh,
food.
the food. Yeah, I
Maybe.
didn't know that sacks artifacts. Okay. That's kind of broken.
Yep. So
Okay.
they got their yeah they got their spirit token now.
Yeah, so you can double block something, I guess. Let's see.
Yeah. So I was afraid of they had one mana up, and so I mean this is an interesting decision point. I think I was afraid of double blocking the foggy. I mean, would that have been worth it though to get that card out of their hand? Like I
Yeah,
feel
I
like
mean,
they're gonna
I would say when I'm looking at this board state, I'm almost thinking, can we? I don't even know if we have outs to win chest down board. Almost, you know what I mean? I mean, I guess maybe that's an exaggeration, but like I'm looking at this board, and it's like when they did this turn, I'm thinking, oh shit, like I lost, like it's over. So like I don't even know if I can beat anything. I mean, obviously, if they have literally nothing, maybe you could win, right? But like, so I probably that's what I'm like thinking is like, am I far enough ahead that I consider playing around the like even if they have nothing, you're probably going to lose anyway. So like, I don't know if I can block with it in mind that much. And like, what are the other blocks? Like, you can chump
hmm,
block and take 5, but then like part of the problem with chump blocking now is that this other 2/1 is basically destined to chump block. Like this, the problem is like both these 2/1s are kind of like useless. If that makes sense. Like
yeah.
if you don't like double block with the other 2/1, like what's it going to do? It can't attack and it can't block. So like, is it going to chump block the 6/6 again? Well, you already have another 2/1. So like I would probably lean to double blocking like either the trophy seal or the 2/4. I guess. I mean you could chump block,
Yeah.
but like you could definitely chump block and maybe it's better because like maybe you think it saves you more life because then you can chump block again. But like if you look at this game, it's like very hard to win. Like I feel like you probably do have to trade off cards and then start chumping the 6/6 because I don't know, it's kind of tricky. Because like maybe you're like, oh, I need to
Yeah.
sack to my June to get the life. Like maybe you're like, oh, to win this game, maybe you're like, I need to like chump block, and then you're like, I want to sack my thing to my June to get the lifelink trigger, so that's why I don't want to double block. Yeah, so maybe just chump
Yeah.
block.
So I think I went with chump blocking. My thought process was I don't want to double block here. I was probably overvaluing like the octopus thing, but more importantly, like I wanted to be able to have a chump blocker 2 turns from now, um, on their basically on their next attack phase, because I wanted to set myself up to sacrifice a pox bearer, you know, and like swing in for lifelink damage unblockable with June, and then leave back like a 1/1 that can chump block the 6/6 on the following turn. Um, I think that was my thought process in the moment. Basically, like if I double blocked here, and I'd have to sacrifice the 1/1, and then I'm left with no blockers. But I also hadn't really, yeah, and I mean, I guess with that line, like of trying to attack in with June, spend 5 mana, there's no opportunity to like play another creature that I draw off the top or off the clues or something, I guess.
Yeah, so yeah, the chump block makes sense to me because of like maybe you could win if you like somehow lifelink your June and make her into like 6 power lifelink and yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
I think that's what I did. So let's see. Okay, so I don't know if that was a good I guess it doesn't matter, right? Like which one I'm blocking with.
well, maybe this one's better because you can sack the 1/1 to the June and then you keep the 2/1. Like it
Right,
leaves you with a
yeah.
2/1 instead of
Yeah.
a 1/1, but I guess I don't know if it really matters because a 1/1 and a 2/1 are pretty similar here. But I mean, the 2/1's
Yeah.
probably strictly
Yeah, like
better,
I
even though it
mean,
doesn't matter.
yeah. They're basically on chump blocking duty from this point on, I guess.
Yeah. So yeah,
Okay, so
okay,
I
you draw
draw a
that.
benevolent.
That's funny because you
I
could
don't think
airbend it.
playing
Yeah.
it is a play here, right? Like,
Well, you can play it for 2 mana, I guess, which is kind of interesting. And then like it
huh.
blocks their guy's Death Touch. Well, because it like
Yeah.
blocks. like one of the things that's good about it is it like blocks every creature they have except for the Death Toucher. So like maybe
That's
you could
true.
consider playing it because like you can tap the whatever thingy, so you could technically
Yeah,
go
the
like
battle thing.
and yeah, and if you're not gonna block with the,
Oh, yeah.
so you could technically play it for 2 mana and then like pass with Azula thing up and then like and then I guess then you have to like do the math of like okay if they attack with other guys because like if you only take damage from the 6/6 you can maybe go to 6 this one turn. Um, maybe you don't need a chump this
So
turn.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I would basically play it. So I pay 2, and then I tap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I guess another land, right?
Well, it's just 5, right? Because you have 5 permanents
Water
to
Ben
tap.
5. Oh yeah, yeah, you're right. So
If,
one, two,
assuming you don't
three,
want to chomp with a
four,
1/1.
five.
I mean, you can also like tap another land and then like leave a 1/1 back to chump. Um,
Yeah,
and then you can't
yeah,
like sack as many clues or use Azula, but maybe that's fine because you don't want to do those things anyway. But like maybe you want to Azula the Spirit Token or whatever. I don't know. It's kind of
yeah.
it,
Because I still haven't played a land for turn, right? So I could tap a land, leave 2 creatures back. I might even be able to tap the June, right? Because I don't think I'm ever blocking with June. Um, and then it sets me up for like a really big lifelink flying, kind of turn. I mean, I guess they have this guy, but
yeah. I mean, like it's kind of interesting because it's like not obvious how you want to use your creatures because technically you could do like you could do something like tap everything except for Swamp and June, and then you could go like crack a clue, attack with June, and then all you have is 2 mana thing up. But then it's like, okay, am I dead on board if I do that? And it's like, okay, let's
hmm,
see, like let's say I block their second biggest guy, the 3/3, and then I kill that. Then it's like I take 2, 10. So then you would go to like 1 life, presumably. So maybe you're allowed to do
yeah,
that. So like let's just say they have nothing and they have 0 cards and this is all they have. So you could go benevolent guy, tap all 5 things, crack a clue, attack with June, and then the June is 4 power, and this accomplishes you get the counter from the pursuit. And then yeah, it's their turn. You block their well, their 3/3 CL might be tapped, so not doesn't necessarily can attack. But like let's say they just play cantrip, you could go like Benevolence
yeah,
guy, block the seal, Azula, kill the 1/1 spirit, and then you take 10 damage, so you go to 2 life, and then you take 1 from the pursuit, so you go to 1 life, and then you can like try and get lifelink back, and then like maybe that's like good for you, but it's kind of complicated because it's like, should I like you're kind of balancing, do I want to leave back a 1/1 ally to chump with? Do I want to like or do I want to like have the extra mana to sack a clue? And it's like, do I want to attack with June to get a trigger with my pursuit? Do I want to lie? I mean, you probably always do want to lies, like with a spirit token. Um, so yeah, I mean, it is kind of tricky. Like, I don't know, like what I would say, like in a live game to really get through it. It would be kind of hard. It's kind of hard to like do this all in. I mean, like, because it takes like, yeah, it takes some time to like go through each step and be like, does this actually work, right? But yeah,
right, yeah. I think
uh,
in the moment I was prioritizing not cracking clues because I wanted to guarantee
the
lifelink
big
next
turn.
turn. I think,
Yeah,
yeah, I'm pretty sure unless I just did a dumb thing and went for. I mean, it's possible with them tapped out, I might have actually gone for like a June lifelink swing here. I don't think I did.
yeah.
Let's
I mean,
see.
it's not that hard to get the 3 sack trigger next turn because if you sack because you have like the June ability, but like you have to sack an ally. But yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Also, like
Yeah, no, you're right.
another thing about the spirit is like if you don't play the spirit now, when are you going to play it? Because like if you start sacking stuff, you just can never play the spirit or whatever. Like it seems
Yeah, yeah,
pretty
you're
good to
right.
play the
Like
spirit here
I'll
because they have yeah,
Yeah, yeah, they have flyers. It's another blocker. It does
screw
trade with, or at least, yeah,
yeah.
it's
It's not
another
like you're beating a
blocker.
removal spell anyway or whatever. So
Yeah. So I'm hovering over it, which makes me think I did come to the same conclusion.
yeah, because you kind of almost want to like waterbend it and then start jumping and cracking the clues and stuff. So yeah, you
Yeah.
go for that. So you
So
leave the guys back, okay, and leave 2 mana up. Seems fine, I guess. Um, and then
yeah,
if you attack
and it
with
doesn't look
yeah,
like I'm gonna attack here.
yeah, because you'd have to like crack a clue basically. So
Oh, I guess I'm attacking
yeah,
and
did you get any? Yeah, I guess it's kind of awkward if they
no.
double block because like you don't really want to trade. I feel
Yeah,
like, especially with, I mean, the thing is, if they don't double block, it's good for you because like let's say they single block with the Tiger Seal, then you get to eat it. But if they double block, it's kind of awkward for you. Um, I
Yeah,
guess.
because if they double block and they're telegraphing like that, this the what's it called, the
What's more like
plus one
it's just a
spirit.
1 for 1. Like the problem is you Azula thing, but you're not really getting value because they still trade, right? Like your guy's a 4/4, and the most you can make there is guy's a four
Right.
four. So it's not like it's that much value for you necessarily. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a pretty bad attack.
But I mean, maybe it
Like,
could be okay. Like the reasons it would be a good attack is like if you believe you're so far behind that like you can't win unless they don't block here, or like you think they're gonna mess up the block and like not double block, because if they don't double
mm,
block, then it's kind of maybe it's good for you if they don't double block. Like if they just block as a tiger seal, then you gotta like eat it and kill their spirit. Although yeah, so yeah,
I don't know what was going on through my head here. Maybe I was hoping to somehow get the flyer off the board or something like that. I mean, although that doesn't really matter, I have the river guy, and
yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
I,
Yeah, I don't know.
well, you're probably thinking it's probably not gonna block. It's so I don't know. It's kind of close. Like it's not crazy. Like yeah, if this is kind of good for you because now you can kill their spirit and do this. And
Yeah.
like again, if they don't know
So,
all the cards, oh,
so
did you do the
okay.
wrong
So
modes?
I did
Oh my
the
God! Oh
spirit.
no! Oh, well, I guess it's just there's not
Yeah.
that much strategy here. It's just obvious.
This is one of the worst plays I made. I remember this. I should have killed the spirit,
Yeah,
and I was afraid. I was just so afraid of the plus one thing, and I was like, I don't want to lose my June.
yeah.
So
But it wouldn't
I
even
did
work because
that and I lose one,
if
but
they had the plus one,
it
it's even
wouldn't
a
have
bigger
mattered.
blowout here. Because if
Yeah,
they,
yeah,
it's a bigger blowout. Yeah, you just got confused, I guess, or like yeah,
yeah.
you're
This
tripping
is
it up.
like this is a perfect example where I just like failed to read, like, I don't know, cause and effect and or board states,
Yeah, you just didn't
well.
realize like what would happen. You're like, oh, I'm scared if they have a trick, but without realizing the trick doesn't matter here or whatever. But anyway, so
Exactly. Yeah.
because of the way it works. So yeah, that the trades, then they get this thing.
So
Uh,
here I'm starting to feel like I might have a shot, you know. So they play sold out. They're gonna pay the ward and kill
yeah,
the river spirit.
yeah. So you take 5 and probably chump block the crawler.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I guess it'll depend what you draw. I guess most of your deck is just 3 mana, 3/1,
Yeah.
so we'll see. Okay, so you untap. Oh,
Yeah. Untap and I guess immediately started cracking clues. I mean, I guess I don't know if we go back like
yeah, it makes sense
so
that
I'm
your
about
first
to get
place
a
clue.
clue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I drew the swamp snare and then cracked the clue, but I think I have no choice here, right? Like I'm
Yeah, you
kind of
probably just
forced
have
into.
maybe you have to go for the lifelink. I mean, maybe you're just dead, but it's like I mean, you uh sorry, 1 second, I got distracted. I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to say that you're just dead in a million ways in an intelligent. Like I don't know. Like all the options seem horrible. I mean, it's like looking at the 1%. It's like looking at the 0.1% versus the 0.2%. Like analyzing it. It's like I don't know. Let me see. Are you supposed to snare here? I don't know. Like what's the outs? It's horrible. But because it's like okay, you can get lifelink this turn, but the problem is like next turn you might not have enough to sacrifice. But like I don't know. Maybe you're supposed to. You can get it again next turn if you draw a creature. So maybe you just go like all in, crack all the clues, hope to draw 1 drop, swing for like 6 lifelink or 7 lifelink. Yeah, 7 lifelink, and like if you draw like a thing to sack, then you can swing for 10 lifelink. That actually could be a. Sounds like it's almost a winning line. So yeah, probably
Hmm.
just.
Yeah.
I mean, you probably just have to make your guy lifelink because like the only reason not to crack the clues is like, oh, what if I can't do it next turn? But like if you draw any guys, you can sack the guy to like get the 3 sack triggers.
Yeah, yeah. I don't even think I thought about that.
Yeah.
Like that a creature can get me, back into lifelink next turn. So, yeah, it looks like I was just all in on the lifelink. Drew the octopus form, which was just like
Yeah.
pretty good.
Yeah, drawing a 1 drop here seems smart.
And so this
So
this gives me a blocker next turn too, because I get to untap.
yeah, you could try and eat their whatever thingy maybe. You're almost close
Yeah,
to lethal, but not really because they're at 14 life, I guess. But like you're almost at a point where you don't need to sacrifice your octopus form because like you're so close to lethaling them. Uh
yeah. So here I felt like I had to. I mean, yeah, I guess I could see that. Like I could have just
Well, maybe you're dead. Like here, you'd have to like kind of count through the math to see if it makes sense. Because like now you have your June kind of protected. So like let's say you go like block their guy, you take 5 damage, you go to
Uh,
8 life, but then you lose another, you go to 7 life. Then next turn you go play the hawk, then you sack the hawk and draw 3 things, and then it's like okay, then you get a swing for 10 damage, and then like maybe you have the octopus form, and you're what did I say? You're at 7 life, so then you go to 17, and
yeah.
they have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's kind of tricky. I mean, it could maybe there's a consideration where you don't need an octopus form because like maybe you have it okay enough, but you have to do other considerations like oh, what if they play another creature? Like what if they play another 6/6? Then maybe you can't afford to not block, um, or whatever. Like what if they just play another
Yeah.
creature? But like it's not like completely obvious that you have to untap to block it because like and because like next turn also you'd have to like count your mana like okay wait how much do I have to sacrifice because you're like I have to sack 2 clues I need to play the hawk and sack 2 clues and do the other thing so how much mana even is that it's like what like that's 3 4 you already have to tap out next turn anyway so actually I guess I answered my own question it's basically free to use the octopus form actually because you literally have to use 8 mana next turn to to sack
Yeah.
everything so yeah you basically are forced to so I don't even know why I went on that rant but yeah we can keep going.
No, I mean that was great. I there's another consideration. I'm just thinking through this. Like I could just take all of this, right? And then if I did that,
You go to one
I
life.
could go to 1 life basically after the obsessive pursuit trigger. Um, Play the hawk, sacrifice the ally, sacrifice 2 clues, leave up octopus form, go to 11. Um, and then I have the octopus form and a blocker. Like that could have been another play, but I mean, what punishes
Well, you have
that?
enough mana. You need 8 mana to sack 2 clues, right?
So so 4 for 2 clues, 3 for the hawk, and then one. Yeah, so I wouldn't be able to leave up. No, you're right. Yeah, so I actually wouldn't be able to leave up octopus form.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's not the right. That's not the right play.
Well,
Yeah,
it almost sounded interesting for a second
yeah,
before.
I discounted the mana there.
Yeah. So then it's like kind of makes sense that you're like kind of coerced into doing this because you're gonna have to
Yeah.
tap out next turn anyway, so you can't keep it up anyway. So yeah,
So
now it's
here I was
kind of
pretty happy to see that, I didn't see like a removal spell in response. What do you think about this block?
well, it seems kind of forced because it's the only creature can block, right? Like you can't the other cards are unblockable.
Oh, yeah, this is Death Touch. Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
yeah,
Yeah. So okay, so get the foggy off, chump block the 6/6. Yeah. All right,
yeah.
this
If
makes
it didn't
sense.
have Death Touch, then yeah, then it would be
Yeah.
a different story, I guess. But let's see. Okay, they play that thing. So yeah, they play another creature, which is funny. You could kill it for 2 mana, but you need to get all your. You probably need to get lifelink
Yeah.
going. So we'll see. Okay, what's that do? Not. Oh, actually,
So
that's funny. Yeah,
this is sacrifice fodder, right? But I'm not sure if
but you
I
need the.
what.
Yeah. Well, I guess you
So
can't. Yeah. I guess like the
I
one
mean, so okay,
thing
so you
the.
got 8 mana. Yeah. Sorry, go on.
Well, I was gonna say like one of the considerate like. I was gonna say like I don't know if there's a downside to just starting the turn by cracking the clue. Like maybe you could just crack the clue. The only downside is like maybe they have quench and that somehow affects it. But like I don't even like maybe you can just start by cracking the clue. I guess to like get more information or whatever before we even do anything. I guess
Yeah. No, that
because you
makes sense.
because like it's you're probably I mean I don't know if there's like a I don't know maybe you're considering a line where you don't go for the lifelink this turn where you're like wow now I have 2 chump blockers so I can go trap the 3/3 play the official play the hawk and then like how much that's 7 mana and then you can attack with June put them to 7 and you have 2 chump blockers for their guys so maybe that's a good line like you already know they don't have an instant speed
I
removal
like that line. Yeah, they would have played the removal by now if they had it.
so and you can make 2 chump blockers which is like kind of good because like then they need 2 things. So yeah, I guess it's like drawing the corrupt official. Maybe you don't even need to necessarily go for the lifelink this turn, but I didn't do the math on that to be like maybe it's better to go for the lifelink for like whatever reason. But the chump block mode's kind of nice because like if you top deck your own removal spell, then maybe you can win even if they have one removal spell or something. Uh,
Yeah, yeah. I mean that's pretty good. And then I end up with, let's say they top deck removal. Like I have 2 evasive creatures, a chump blocker. I get them down to about half their life. Um,
And you don't need to sack the
Maybe a
guy you
little
make
less.
this turn to June also.
Right.
But you swing for 10 lifelink. I mean, I don't know. It's kind of a spot where, like, it's kind of a weird spot because, like, if they don't have removal, you probably just win next turn anyway. And it's like both lines kind of beat them not having a removal spell. So it's like, why would one be better than the other, I guess? Um, I guess is kind of the
Yeah.
question. So, like, I mean, I guess there's some things you can say, like, yeah, and then it's like, so, like, if you gain, like, let's say June, you go to 10, you gain 10, you go to 19. How much power do they have? 5 plus 4. Do they have 9 power in play? Or, no, I'm counting way wrong. 7, 8,
Yeah. So
9,
that's eight.
12. Yeah, 12 power.
So I'll end up back at one, right? By the next turn, assuming.
Or, like, you gain 10 life if you sack 3 things. So you go to 19,
Oh, okay.
18.
Yeah. So I'm in a pretty good
But I
spot.
guess one thing to note about the waterbend thing is like one upside to killing their thing. I guess it's pretty marginal, so it's not like that generally applicable. But like, let's say they have like a 7 drop or a splash card they can't cast. Letting them keep that flyer
Mm,
in play can give them, like, let's say they have Meteor Hammer or whatever, or what, 7 drop thing. Then like that's kind of an upside to casting the
yeah.
snare. Maybe it denies them the thing. That's pretty fringe. But I guess like the core of the situation is like, okay, like I'm pretty likely to win if they don't have a removal spell. So how do I do it? Do I do the lifelink? Do I do the lifelink thing, or do I play a bunch of guys? I also, there might be edicts in the format. That's like another upside to like playing guys. Like it kind of seems like it's probably better to play your
Yeah.
spells and stuff. Like again, I guess it's just specific of like what can go wrong. And it's like, yeah, maybe it's better to do this other line where you just kill their thing, play your things. I mean, you could argue it's worse against Octopus form though, because if you try and kill their thing and they Octopus form it, then maybe that's a little bit awkward, but it's not like completely horrible because you still get to attack with your guy, and then like you're still not dead because you chumped their guy, and then you can like go for lethal next turn.
Right. Yeah. I do like. Yeah. I'm more convinced now that the right line is probably play out the spells. Yeah. I think that's actually what I ended up doing, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So I led with the court official. Maybe this is wrong, right? I probably should have at least tried to draw first.
Well, it's
But
like
I
if
guess
you play your
seems like
spells, you're
that
not
was probably
drawing.
what was on my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, right.
Well, like yeah, you could maybe like play the official last because of quench, because like you'd rather probably have your official like your hawk quench than
Yeah,
whatever.
this is pretty loose. Yeah,
But it doesn't really
I think
matter.
so.
I don't know. So they do this, then you could probably swing for 7. If they have Octopus Form, then at least it's just a 1-for-1 even, which is nice. If they, yeah. So now
Yeah,
you're kind of pulling ahead again. Was everything going on? I guess yeah, Obsessive Pursuit's pretty good. I guess that's why it has a 58% win rate or whatever.
I
Uh,
is there a case to have? Yeah, obsessive pursuit is pretty awesome. So the attack here, I mean, I probably should have attacked and then played the hawk afterwards, right? Um,
you mean so in
they
case they had
have,
like Octopus Form or something?
yeah, because then I can, at the very least, I don't know if I want to burn a clue on this, but
Well, it's the good
if
thing
it's
is like you
coming
don't
from
even really
removal,
you probably don't even really need to think about the reasons that much because there's like no reason to play the Hawk pre-combat. Like if there's no reason to play the
right?
Hawk pre-combat, you might as well just attack if it's free, I guess, without even needing to
Yeah, yeah,
think about any reason or whatever. I mean, you could claim some leveling play that like, oh, I actually want them to Octopus form their guy, but obviously they don't have it. They would have saved their guy. Like, what kind of like they would obviously have saved their flyer if they had Octopus form. But like, I don't know. There's like a 0.1% chance
right.
that they just like forgot it or whatever, like misclicked. Anyway, so yeah, I mean,
Yeah, so
seems
this
fun.
is just loose sequencing. I think
Yeah, it
it's
doesn't really matter
reasonable to
though,
play
because
here.
like even if they form, it's like not really doing anything. So yeah, so now it's their turn. They're probably about to lose, I guess. So it was a
Yeah,
miraculous
so they're either
comeback, I
scooping
guess.
here or maybe doing an attack. So they do an attack.
Yeah. So I guess you can chump with that thing and take 3.
Yep.
And you have like lethal on 2 creatures now, which is pretty nice. Probably. I mean, I
Yep.
didn't count.
So they watery grasp,
Okay. Is it? It looks like it's
and so
lethal. It
yeah,
looks.
this is basically ad. So now I have lethal.
Wow. Yeah.
So
Playing. Actually,
three lose.
yeah. Playing the hawk was so good because it gave you lethal on a bonus creature. That was so obvious, I guess.
Yeah.
Like if you didn't play the hawk, you would have died maybe. But now, yeah. So I guess it was just
Yeah.
obvious.
Yeah.
It literally just gave you lethal. I mean, they could have left back their 2/2, but maybe that's not a winning play from them. I mean, I guess it was this lethal on board, so maybe it was just like they should have just done it.
Yeah, I guess yeah, they would have lived, right? Like they
They
would have
chomp,
lived in
you go to 12, but then
yeah,
they get a
they
swing
chomp, I
for
go to 12.
9.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah.
If they have another removal, maybe they win. If they, so
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean it could have given him a chance. So I don't know if I do any sideboarding
yeah.
here.
I mean, it might be a good matchup for the clone because they don't have a lot of airbending. I guess that's on. I don't know what else you had. You had the professor guy. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'd side
Yeah.
in the clone, but that's just because I like it already. Uh,
Yeah,
if the,
this is yeah. I mean, I kept undervaluing the Ember Island. Ruinous Waterbending just seemed
yeah. I don't.
awful.
It's. I'm not saying
Um,
that that clone is that good of a card, but it's like when you're pool, when things are sketchy, you have to make do. Uh,
yeah,
like
like being able to clone like the Foggy, would have actually, as I think through it, like a 4/4 with that works well in my draw two deck. That could have been interesting. I brought on the Zukos. Does
yeah, yeah.
that
If you clone the, yeah, it looks like you're probably scared of them playing a big guy or something, or what happened. It's actually kind of really bad against draw
I
two
figured
theme
that
though.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It looks like I brought it in, and then I was like, all right, no, that's not gonna work, and
Yeah,
I
it makes
basically
sense.
ran with the same
It's
deck.
yeah, it's hard for you to sideboard that much. I mean, maybe I think like maybe like I'm not that high on Azula Wise in your deck, so like maybe I'd rather have the clone than it, but not really saying anything that
Yeah.
like I'd be like okay, but yeah, that's just more. I don't know. Anyway, we can keep going, I guess. So this hand looks pretty good, I guess, because you have 2, 3, 4 curve.
Yeah.
So yeah, then you just play your cards, I guess. Okay, that's like
Vendor Ascension.
when they hit you, they get a counter or something. Okay.
I think yeah, and then if they get four, they
Yeah.
basically have like a curiosity
Yeah.
effect.
Yeah. I mean, I guess this might be too marginal to say, but I did notice like last game too when you had like off color. Like I could see playing Swamp here to like hide the information that you have blue mana.
Hmm.
Maybe if it's free. If there's, I mean, here the thing is like, oh, maybe you want to play the tap land and play a blue spell, but like, also I guess I'm traumatized because they put Strip Mine in the last set in the bonus sheet. So, so now I just think about playing the
No,
same
that's
color
a good
twice.
point. I mean, those like micro edges, like it's good to be thinking about that stuff. I don't know.
Yeah. Like you don't want to get because sometimes it can like bite you back if like you do it in the wrong way. But yeah, you just play the 3 drop here, I guess, and then pass,
Yeah.
and then whatever. Then they
Not
play
having a double
Eloquent.
blue feels like a bummer here because I think I have. I mean, if I drew a
Waterbend.
blue, I'd be able to play the benevolent, right?
Yeah. But like look how good it is just to curve out. Even though your cards are horrible, you're just curving out. Um,
Yeah.
I mean, the thing needs like 4 counters. I mean, I guess here your only option is like, do you play your 4 drop or do you play 2 2 drops? But it seems kind of good to play the 4 drop probably because like their
Yeah.
thing
I
doesn't
think
do
I
that
went
much
for
when it hit.
that. Yep.
Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
then and then next turn maybe you kill something and play your guy. And I don't know what their rare does. I think it needs like 4 counters and then their thing draws cards or something. I guess it's a replay, so you
Yeah.
can't even see. Let's
Yeah. I
see.
think it's like once you have four counters, like
Oh
every time a
wow,
creature connects, they'll draw a card.
that card's horrible. I guess it's sealed. Okay. Oh, this is interesting, I guess, because like now you have the choice if you want to play your guy or kill their guy, or like now you're like you could like not kill their guy to like you know, uh, but then they get more counters on their thing. I don't even know what their thing does, to be honest. I think it's like when it gets 4 counters, does it like turn into like the Serpent of Thassa or whatever? Um,
Yeah.
okay.
Like so it's like it basically every time a creature hits me, they'll draw a card. I don't know if it's like per creature. I forget.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure I looked at it at some point just to double check.
yeah. Well, I guess like you can
It looks like
only play one black spell anyway. Like you can't play. Well, I guess I'm. Yeah, so I guess the option is like, do you want to try and the main option is like, do you want to try and play this 4 5 or whatever, and then you have to like count everything out to see if it makes sense, like how much damage you miss. So 3, 4,
right.
and then it's because you could also just go. You could also, I mean, I guess before playing a land, you could have also gone like Swamp Snare Trap, play the 2/1, swing for 6 or 7, play the top land. That could have been a potential line too. Um,
Uh, yeah. I feel
Uh,
like here, yeah. And then this guy, okay, no, that's draw two, you get lifelink. So yeah, I like your line a lot.
I mean, I don't know. Like you'd have to count it out. I mean, it would take a while. I don't know if there's anything that's like again. It would just be like thinking of the downsides. It's like okay, like what's the downside of playing this flyer? How much do I value the damage? Uh, whatever. But maybe it's fine to just play the 2-1 because like the thing is the flyer is going to be good in the late game anyway, whereas this 2-1's getting worse as each turn passes. So maybe just slam the
Right.
2-1, slam the trap, swing for 7, and then you probably have a decent attack next turn anyway. Because yeah, like they're going to play like maybe one blocker, and then you just attack with everything, and then maybe they're dead. So yeah, and you can also sack the
Yeah.
lands to like give your guy menace. So that was probably a better play, I guess. I get
Yeah. I'm pretty sure I got overexcited and played the.
yeah,
Hmm. Well, I am actually. Maybe I didn't.
yeah,
No. Okay, I did go for that. Okay.
yeah. Well, because
Oh,
here
I
it would be
guess I
tough
could do
not to,
both.
because you'd be
Okay.
like, yeah, you can't do both because you don't have enough blue mana.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
yeah, I mean, you might feel dedicated to it because you already played the untap land, so you can't take the pain. But like putting them at
Right.
7 and having 4 guys in play against their messenger hawk's probably pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I guess.
I mean, I guess I
Okay.
don't have that
Yeah.
much to add. We'll just see as
Yeah.
this
I
goes
mean,
through.
taking away half their life total, though. I didn't do the math. I mean, that is pretty good
Yeah,
too.
you put them at 7 and you have 4 creatures and they have like no blockers except for this messenger hawk that's like you don't care if they block. And you
Right.
can even like
Yeah.
sack the land to give menace to your guy or whatever if you need to. And then like you have like lethal past whatever it is. Anyway, so let's see what's happening.
Yeah.
Because like the good thing is like if you force them to block a big creature, that means that your like 2-1s can get through. Okay, so they do that. They play another hawk. Let's see. Now they're just chumping. So I mean I guess quite like I mean you can't re-equip, so the only question is like do you attack with your Death Toucher or not? It's like probably a fine
Yeah.
attack because then they have to double block. I don't know. I didn't think it's true. That's like your only option,
Yeah.
right? Is like, do I attack with my Death Touch or not? Because you're obviously attacking with the other cards.
Yeah. I mean, I think. Yeah. This looks like a pretty clear just attack all. Play the
Yeah,
tap land. Yeah.
yeah. And you can even play the Pox Bearer. I mean, the only option is like, oh, should I not play the Pox Bearer to play around them having a Wrath? Uh, and
Right.
it's kind of
Yeah.
troll because well, they would actually it doesn't work. The Wrath doesn't work because the two Wraths in the format is like a engineered explosive. So your 7. Or wait, is that a 2-drop? Okay, never mind. It gets hit by it. That's funny. Um. Anyway,
The
yeah.
it's that one with the X cost, right?
Oh
Like
wait,
the
did they not block? Wow, that is yeah, the X cost one. I mean, the fact that they didn't block might make me think that they're more likely to have that Wrath, but I don't know to be honest. Maybe not.
yeah,
Uh,
maybe I should have. I mean,
I mean, it's pretty
yeah,
minor. You'll probably get punished more by playing around the Wrath too much anyway, but it is kind of funny. Also, because like it takes away abilities, so you don't even get the this dying thing.
yeah. So they'd have to pay
Yeah,
6, right?
yeah. I mean, also the other thing
To
you can
get
say, well, they only have to pay 4 because they kill everything.
oh 4.
I guess it's fine for you because like your Pirate Planet is a 3-drop, so like even if they play the Wrath, they have to kill their birds, otherwise you keep your 2/2. Um,
Uh, yeah,
Also, I was gonna say, like, also you could make the argument that, like, oh, I'm just gonna lose if they have the Wrath anyway. It's not like keeping this 2-1's gonna do anything. Like, you'd be like, if they play the Wrath, what does keeping this 2-1 even do anyway, or
right.
whatever.
Yeah.
But anyway, so it can keep going. Let's see, they play the
So they
2/4, and they don't crack the
oh yeah.
clue, so they just pass with 2 mana up, which is interesting.
I think they might have made a mistake here where they cracked the clue. They probably forgot that they need to draw 2 cards.
Well, I would have assumed that, like, that would make me think they have a trick or whatever, unless they just forgot whatever. Oh wow, that was a smart draw. Um, yeah. I mean, you probably just attack with the Death Toucher in this thing. Yeah, see what happens. And then, oh, if they have the calibrated
They
thing, that's funny. Oh, I was gonna say, like, actually, what would be a funny blowout to consider is if they have the draw 2, because then they can double block your 4/5. But maybe that's fine, I guess.
Yeah, I what I thought here, it's like yeah, they crack a clue in the middle of combat. Maybe they're looking for information to help inform their blocks, but
No, it's
it
just a
felt
punt
more
for
like they
sure.
were gonna double block and they forgot that
Yeah,
this
yeah,
thing needs to draw.
yeah. I mean, it is not. I don't think it's insane to consider like maybe not attacking with the flyer because like if they have the draw two, maybe it's kind of bad for you if they like are able to double block it. But maybe you're not ahead
Yeah,
enough to play around because your guy has wards. It's pretty hard, and it's like pretty hard for them to like leave it up like later maybe or something. I don't know.
that's a
I mean, I
really
don't
good
know.
point. Yeah,
I mean, maybe it's too like it might
yeah,
be too
yeah. That's a
conservative.
good
It's
point.
just. I mean, I don't like maybe you have to attack anyway, but it's kind of funny. Okay, so this happens. It's also kind of good because like imagine if they have quench, like you kind of want to cast this pursuit, but like if you don't like if you attack with your guy, it forces them to like use the draw two so they can't have quench for your pursuit or whatever. So yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I got lucky there, I guess. Yeah. But I think let's say they left the mana up. I'm playing Pursuit here every time, right? Like I'm not playing around Quench.
Oh, I meant that like like in the consideration of should I attack with my 4/5 flyer, like an upside is if they go for the draw two, then you know you're 100% to resolve the pursuit. Um,
Ah,
I
got it.
mean, you're
Yeah, yeah,
probably
yeah.
casting the pursuit, I guess. Like I don't know, maybe there's a consideration not to because you're like I'm so far ahead that like I don't want to let them
Mm,
quench into wrath. It's kind of like marginal. I don't know, maybe you just do it because like maybe you're like I'm not far
I
enough ahead
guess.
to it.
Yeah.
I mean, it
No,
seems
I guess you're right. So if I'm thinking through the next turn, they wrap, they don't wrap. I have nothing, right? Like I have a land in my hand. Playing the Pursuit and then drawing off the clue next turn probably isn't the worst thing. Um, yeah, yeah, I hadn't
I
really
mean, I
thought
guess the
about
main
that.
question is like how like yeah like how like are you going to lose to them not having a wrath? Because if you're going to lose to them not having a wrath, then it makes playing this pursuit better. But like if the only thing you're going to lose to is them having a wrath, then it's like maybe you can consider holding it to play around quench wrath, even though it's not that likely. But whatever, this is like pretty
Oh,
marginal, I guess. Uh, or I guess
that's a good
that's
point.
the details. But yeah, like that's like it's kind of hard because you're like it's not obvious because like there are like random crazy bombs they could play. Like the blue owl was draw like the shark typhoon owl or whatever it's called. That card's like just
Yeah.
like it's hard to
Yeah,
like
yeah,
feel ahead because your opponent could just play that card and maybe that somehow changes things, I guess. And then you're like, I just need to press anyway. So this happens at 3. Yeah.
I want to say I lost this game because of just how long the video time goes, but
Well, then you lose game
I
one,
think you
so
might
this
be
is game
right. That
two.
Yeah, so this is game two. So we won game one, this is game two, but then there's so much more time on the
Oh, I thought you lost game one for some reason. Oh no, you won it. You cheated it. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. So yeah. So we'll see. I mean, yeah. This if this game drags on, that's kind of funny. We'll see what happens here. Uh, yeah. I
They've
mean,
got to have the wrath, right?
maybe they have cheap
I think you're
removal.
right. I don't remember it, but
Well, the pursuit's pretty good in play, at least I guess. I don't know if there's some lifelink. If they have 7 mana, there's if they didn't play the land yet, there's like a lifelink. There's a card that gains a lot of life. The Gator. Maybe they have the
yeah,
Gatorade.
they tanked here for a really long time.
Okay. Then they crack the clue, I guess. Let's see.
Oh, I think they have the was it the tap
Oh, the tap thing. Sure.
multiple creatures?
Yeah. Yeah, that card's pretty good. Okay. So they tap Crashing
And the
Wave. X equals only 1, and they just tap down your flyer and your Death Toucher. Okay. And then let's see
they
what
have a
happens next.
flyer two stun counters.
Okay. And then let's see. They're gonna sack this thing. Maybe they're gonna time out. Okay. They swing for 2. I mean, I guess this is kind of interesting because you have the option to double block it, but like maybe you're like, I don't know if that's a good play.
Yeah.
So it's kind of interesting, but I guess you're like, no, I'm not gonna do that because I can like grow my guy, which makes sense. I mean, you can grow the backup guy, so it's kind of weird. It's like, what if they have removal? But anyway, so you crack the clue,
Yeah.
and that's
I
kind of
think
good, probably.
here I probably played the attachments.
Yeah, it's kind
Discard
of
my land.
interesting.
So, or should I? I mean, I'm actually curious about this.
I
Am
mean,
I
I guess it's
playing
probably.
attachments or tracking a clue? You
I mean, it's
know?
probably better to play attachments because your guy is already going to be big this turn, and then you can have more clues for next turn, I guess. And also this way you draw 2, so like if you draw 3, you're more likely to like draw a 3 drop you can cast. So yeah, you can probably just do this, like attack with your guys, probably put the counter on the ally and play the village guy or whatever.
Yeah.
Like if they block, you get a 1/1 or whatever. So yeah, I'll see. It looks like your opponent was just AFK a lot probably because the game's almost done now, but they're just taking 20 seconds
Yeah,
for every choice.
they started like ultra tanking or maybe double queuing or something at the end.
Yeah, letting letting it run.
Yeah,
Get a
so
1/1.
they chump block with the hawk so that they can trade.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Maybe just play this like even if they have the Ras, it's probably good for you anyway, I guess. So because you have the
Yeah, I guess
pursuit.
I get the yeah, yeah. And the ruffians will give
Yeah.
me the creature back.
That's weird. They just tap a card and then use removal on it? Okay, anyway, whatever. Keep that's why they
What
were
did they do
tanking.
here?
They killed your tapper
Yeah.
guy. I thought they did it end of turn. They sold like they used sold out on the end of your turn, I think, on your Death
Yeah.
Touch guy. I mean, they probably couldn't really win this game no matter what they did, so they're just like using all their power on a 1% game or whatever. I mean, you could maybe
Yeah,
consider
right.
double blocking, but I don't know if it's worth it because you get a 2/2 anyway. But I didn't do any math. Uh,
Yeah, I didn't think about that. That's a good point.
maybe it doesn't matter. Maybe you only lose if they have like a Zulus thing or whatever. Anyway, I guess you can
I
keep
think I
going.
was yeah, I was thinking like whatever they play, I'll have sold out or
Yeah,
something.
or like
Um,
what? Yeah, it's also like they could have had the Ras post combat, and then like they just get to deal the damage to you, and then that kind of sucks. But whatever.
ooh,
Okay.
yeah, that would have sucked. I would have lost my my 2/2 land at that point.
Yeah. Well, you it loses the Earthbend ability. Okay. Anyway, so
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
one,
I
two,
forget that
three.
about the
Well, it looks like you have lethal here, I guess, because you just kill a guy and yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, so this is just over at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess yeah, they just ran out the clock at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was I think round two. Um, yeah. Uh, so yeah, I can. What do you think? Do you want to do another one, or do you think this is like a good spot here?
I mean, we can do
I'm
one.
happy to keep going.
Yeah, we can do more if you have the energy. I mean, I might take like a couple minute break before the last, getting to the last one.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. How about let's take a 5 minute break. I gotta call my boss. He's been calling me.
Okay.
And
Sure.
then yeah, I'm gonna mute and I'll be back in 5 minutes and we can continue.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Hey, I'm back.
Yeah, I can, I'm here.
Hey. All
Yeah,
right, let me. You good to go?
yeah. You want to look at another game from the same prelim? That's good.
Yep. All right, so this is I think round three.
Okay, I'll be there in like 10 seconds. Just grabbing something. Uh, okay, yeah. I
All right.
guess.
So yeah, this felt like a keep. I got my best two drop creature, three lands. I have interaction,
Yeah, it seems
and
like a snap keep.
yeah. So
Yep.
this is an easy
Your deck
decision.
almost looks. You're like, wow, my deck looks pretty good, I guess. So yeah, just keep and see what happens. Hmm.
They lead with Rumble Arena, so we don't really get a ton of
Yeah.
information here. So I guess maybe this is another case where I should have just led on two swamps, right? Give a little bit less info.
Yeah, I mean, it can depend. Like, if you have the double blue card in your deck, you know what I mean? Then and it's like, oh, would I cast a double blue card on turn two or whatever? Keep in mind the costs. But yeah,
Yeah,
could have
yeah,
maybe done that so that they don't know you're blue or whatever. Sometimes I do the opposite. Like sometimes I'll play the island on turn one because I want them to think I might have quench on turn two or something. But I guess it's kind of
yeah.
so yeah, you just swing
So
for two, and I guess I guess you have a
yeah,
small
that's what I
option
was
here.
thinking about there.
Yeah. You can like play the hawk or you can play the official and sack it, I guess. Is your option basically. Yeah, do you
Oh
think it's
yeah, that's
close
right.
or were you just like slamming the hawk?
Um, I think I went. for the Hawk just to use all my mana. I don't. I mean, that's more like I know that's a heuristic I should generally follow. I didn't really think through.
Well, you can sack the
Oh,
official so you use all your mana also. I mean,
oh, that's true. You're right. You're absolutely right.
but
And
it's
then I
like
might be able to get a bit more information from the
yeah.
opponent.
I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, that's a really good
I
point.
mean, I would say the only upside to that, so that's like a really grindy play because it like basically like let's say they have a 3 mana removal spell. Like basically what that accomplishes is you get to activate your June one time. Like you get to turn the official into a clue. So like
Yeah,
let's say you play the Hawk and they go untap, kill your June. Then next turn you go like sack a clue, play official. But the thing is, it's like not even necessarily bad if they kill your. But it's kind of tempting to get the Hawk down because it looks like they're playing a 5 color control deck and you want to pressure them rather than sit like their late game is probably better than yours than Dirtle. And like it's not even that like you don't need to sack your official that much. Like you can just curve out anyway. But I guess that was like the option.
yeah, yeah. It is. It is an interesting option. I think I was thinking like I want to slam for more damage next turn. I'm on the play. I want to be aggressive.
Yeah, especially it looks like they're
You
playing
know, against
5 color.
Colossus.
Yeah, value.
Yeah, like yeah,
So
exactly. Like every time. So I already know there's a clock on one of my creatures. You know, with the barrels. Um,
yeah,
yeah,
they probably have like 2 rares in hand or something because they have 5 colors. I don't know. Okay, let's see
yeah.
what happens, man. Yeah. Oh,
They
okay.
play bitter work.
I guess that's
I'll
almost
stay
kind of
happy
good for
too,
you,
though.
yeah, because it doesn't do anything for a while. I mean, you could just start the turn by cracking the clue, I guess. I guess not too much to say
Yeah.
here.
So it
Crack
looks
the
like that's what I
clue,
do.
play the official. Well, your hand's pretty good, I
Yeah, play the
guess.
official. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You could technically pre-combat it, so that way you can get more F6 value, but uh,
Yeah.
that's kind of trolling, I
Good
guess.
point.
You might have misclick with F6, so it's hard to know. Anyway, so they discard a
So
forest, I guess. Then they
discard a
play
forest.
the 3/1 and the 2/2. Okay, the deck doesn't look as good anymore. Let's see. Okay, so I guess you have a few options here. Um, yeah, let's see.
I could play two creatures. I could play Swamp Snare, and I mean, I guess like one option is to try to actually get through damage with June.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because it's hard to like have that like mana efficient of a play here of a turn here. Like, yeah, you could go like uh sack the 1/1, crack the clue, and then you can swing for 5, and that's okay. And then you can play Grand. You can like play the
Yeah.
Snowballer, but then the Snowballer you don't really have that good at like you go like Snowballer, tap the 2/2, and then you can attack with like the one like for 2 damage, but then like and then you can go like second main phase, play Grand, sack the 1/1. Um and like
Yeah.
it's not that like playing the removals doesn't like you can do the same play as a removal. Like you could just like kill one of those things instead of playing Snowballer, but it's probably better to play Snowballer so that you can attack with it next turn. Um, so I don't know.
I
Like that's
think
kind of
yeah, I wanted to either eliminate or lock down the archers because it had reach. So I
oh
think
because you can
that
block
was
the
like
1/2. Sure.
yeah. I remember that being like the big concern, but I don't remember how I actually dealt with it.
Yeah. I mean it's kind of yeah. It's kind of interesting. Yeah, I forgot about they have reach. Luckily, they trade. I guess if that happens. So I mean, yeah. So I guess like the main option is like, do you well like if you sack the clue, you can't stop the reach thing anyway because like your guys are 1/2 to make it 3 power. You have to sack a thing anyway this turn, and if you sack a
Yeah,
thing, you can't get rid of their blocker. So like you probably can't sack a clue. Like probably what you have to do this turn is like spend is like play a snowballer, tap one of the guys, play Grand, and then like I would probably sacrifice the 1/1 to turn it into a clue. That seems better than having a 1/1, especially because they might
yeah,
they might blow up your June anyway. And then yeah, the question is what which creature do you kill slash tap slash remove, and like I guess it's yeah maybe you can tap the 3/1 and then swing for 1 with the Hawk, or you could tap the 2/2 and then you get a swing with the official. So I'm not sure what's better, I guess. It's kind of, but I mean, it seems like
Yeah.
if you were playing now, like you'd probably like, I guess it's like, do you want to play Rowdy Snowballer as a trap? It's like probably Snowballer is better, so you can attack with it. And then it's just like, which one do you tap, I guess? And it's like, yeah, maybe you
Yeah.
can tap the reach one. Seems like fine, I guess, to me. I mean,
Yeah.
one thing is like they
So
trade, or sorry,
yeah,
uh,
because yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, because like the reach one can trade with the official. Like I think on my mind, so we have this barrel that's probably gonna pop and kill one of my creatures. And I was thinking I have two evasive creatures, and I want to maximize the chances that I can keep getting through with at least one of them. And so that means the archers have to either, they have to be subdued. Um, so I feel like as we're talking it through, maybe the best line is either probably tap down the archers, get in for one, play grand, sacrifice the official.
I mean, so like the main thing about that of the 3/1 is that the 3/1 doesn't block your Grand because like let's say you leave them like let's say you do that play and you tap the 3/1 attack was the 1/1 pass to them. They have the 2/2. The thing is you have a Rowdy Snowballers so they can just block like you have a Grand next turn that wants to attack so they can just block your Grand with the 2/2 and like
That's a good
you have
point.
a Rowdy
Yeah.
Snowballers. So it's gonna block that. You're pretty far from drawing a card anyway. I mean, I guess you're gonna Grand, so you're gonna draw a card from that. I guess like I'm kind of seeing like I'm not that worried about the evasion. Like you don't need to be that because you have like two removal spells in your hand, so you can just go like tap the 2/2, swing. They block the bird. Then like it's not like they have any blockers, right? Because like if they play a blocker, you can just kill it twice. So like your
Yeah.
guys are getting in,
Yeah.
and like I'm not that worried about. And I feel like the problem was I kind of want to tap the 2/2 because I want to attack with the Grand next turn is the feeling I get. Um,
Yeah, you're right. That makes a lot more. I guess like yeah, I mean maybe even trading the hawk for the 3/1 is okay in this case,
Because like your
right?
hawk's
Like
not. I mean, it's kind of a good trade for you. Like your hawk made a clue. Like it's not that good of a creature. Like
right.
you have to draw a card for it just to get pumped. Like it's kind of like a Elvish Visionary. It's just like I feel like I want my Grand to attack, so I want to tap their 2/2. And then like the thing is, yeah, and then like they're gonna probably like your Rowdy Snowballers is doing a pretty similar amount of damage to the hawk anyway, and like dealing one with the beat like the whatever is pretty good. It's like 9% of their life or whatever. Like one damage here is like 8 or 9% of their life. So like even though it's a 1/1, it's still like pretty meaningful if you look at like what's gonna happen next. Like the one damage from the one
Yeah.
one, I mean, it's like pretty meaningful.
Yeah, it's a great point.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
So I'm pretty sure what I ended up doing is tapping the archers because
yeah, you were
I
like,
think
okay, you did that first. Oh yeah, yeah. I feel like yeah, you probably can't sack the clue here because like you can't. It doesn't even do much for you. It would be a disaster. Like if this was a team
yeah.
event, I would be like diving into the table. No, okay, good. You don't sack the
Yeah.
clue. Uh,
Yeah.
okay, so you actually offer the June for a trade, which actually seems interesting. Okay, you don't. Good. Okay, and then you can play the
Yeah, I think I just
Grand.
got ahead of myself
Well,
there.
maybe you're like, oh,
Yeah.
I want to do it because then my Grand can attack in. So anyway, so they do this. Like they're probably, I'd be thinking they're probably going to even try and exhaust and block. Like they can exhaust on the Vigilance land, swing for 4. Uh, I don't know.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
I mean,
wow. Yeah.
they can also sack the thing, but what are they going to do? Like, yeah, kill a 2/2 or whatever. Oh, and they draw a card. Wow, that's broken. So you probably just have to
How's
take it. Yeah,
the exhaust is 6? How did they get
it's 4.
the extra mana?
It's 4 for
Oh,
the
really?
bitter work.
Oh, for the bitter work.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
got it. I was
So they do
yeah.
this.
Okay, makes
Yeah.
sense.
And then you probably have to like snuff out their 4/4 and then like yeah, now I mean it's not awkward, but like you can't attack with your Grand because they have a 2/2. And which is pretty awkward because you have the
I feel
Messenger
like this
Hawk.
is
I mean you could potentially try and like snare, like give -3, -1, but then they get a chump block. So I guess we'll see what we draw. Okay, that's
so
awkward.
here there's yeah, it's super awkward. I mean, I don't think I'm cracking a clue here,
It's
right?
actually this is
Like
fun. This is interesting to note because like this is actually crazy because like actually which creature to tap out of the two completely cascaded this game because like the Grand attacking is like so important here because it makes your Hawk it makes your June and your Hawk like work. And now they have this 2/2, and we can't deal with the
Right.
2/2, and it's like not attacking was the thing is such a big deal, and we also like missed one damage was the thing, so they would be at 11 life anyway. So it's like how the small details just trying to show how
Yeah.
smart I
No,
am
that's pretty
because
amazing. Yeah.
um so yeah, I mean, so yeah, here you can like double spell by like, yeah, what were you thinking? You're like, you can trap their whatever their 4/4, but then they gotta like chump block it was at one time, or you can snuff out or whatever that's called, but then you don't have the extra mana to like crack a clue or like cast the battle fan. Um, and
Yeah.
maybe
I think I was thinking about gambling and cracking a clue to see if I draw land.
yeah,
Um,
that's makes. I mean, if you're gonna trap, you might as well start with the clue. That's right. Yeah,
yeah.
if you're not
So
gonna do
so
it,
it's, I
it
think
seems reasonable because like if you don't sack the clue, like you kind of your June's kind of unblockable, so like you don't want to trade the June with the 2/2 is what I'm saying, I guess. Okay, you drew
yeah.
that, so that's kind of funny. Then you could, but like, huh? I guess you don't. I guess it's kind of funny because like if you snare, you don't need to snare the 4/4 because it's only enabling the rebels to attack. I guess so. You could like maybe
Right.
go like play the fan and then like sack it a thing or I don't know. It's getting weird here, so I don't know. I'll sit
I'm
back and see what
probably
happens.
thinking about snaring the captives before they can exhaust it next turn, which will give them a 6/6, land. Although I mean, I guess a 6/6 land doesn't
Dies
matter,
the
right?
same. I mean, they probably have to kill one of
Yeah.
your unblockable cards. Maybe
Right.
like you might not have to concern yourself. I mean, actually, it is pretty awkward because they get a draw card for free if you like let them untap as the 4/4. So maybe you were supposed to snare it pre-combat because the problem is like they get a draw card with the bitter work and
Yeah.
it has vigilance, and like letting them draw a card for free is kind of bad.
Oh, you're right. I
That's my
did
expert.
not see that. Wow.
I only realize it now.
Yeah.
So like but like
Man, yeah.
you could have snared it pre-combat and then like attacked with the rowdy snowballer because then they either chump or trade.
Yeah. I guess,
So
yeah, so if they wanted to see another card, that would price them into having to, assuming they have another land, like basically tapping
yeah,
out
then
to exhaust the captives.
yeah, because like the problem is if you don't snare, they just draw a card for free, and like what are you really getting by not
Right.
snaring it? Like not much. I don't know. So yeah, probably the
Yeah.
best play was
Yeah.
just snare the thing, attack, and attack was the 2/2. But
Yeah.
here we are.
So
Here you probably still have to do it
snaring
anyway.
the captives, I think. Like I get really tunnel visioned on
Yeah, then
the
you're gonna
captives exhaust ability.
you didn't respect their bitter work because like as soon as they played the bitter work, you were laughing at it, and now you forgot what it did.
Yeah.
It's like the One Ring or whatever.
Yeah, this is so bad.
Uh,
They draw the card.
I mean, if you draw a land, you might be able to win because you have Azula's. They have a 3/1 for your Azula's cheese. Wow, that's so good for you. I guess it's not that good. It's just one mana, but we'll see. Okay, they pass. Wow, that's insane. So I mean, you. I guess you're just gonna use double
Play
removal here,
sold
maybe.
out. Yeah, play around quench by leading with sold out, and
Yeah,
then
yeah, makes sense. But yeah,
yeah, I guess like yeah, you just play Azula here, right?
yeah, and then Azula, because like even if they have a thing for your guy, you kill their guy, presumably. Okay, that's horrible for them. I mean, that they're playing that card,
Yeah,
their 5 color deck. Yeah, so they get it back, and then you can just Azula. Is it? Yeah, and then it's lethal if you Azula because of Gran is broken, according to LSV.
yeah,
So yeah, yeah. You even have one. That's your one lesson in your deck for Gran. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, good thing Solitude's not on the bonus sheet, I guess. Okay, so sideboard. Um,
I don't remember if I
yeah, I
used
mean,
this
maybe you
one.
can bring in Ember Island production. Let's see, do you have any other good sideboard options? I mean, maybe I guess Meteorite's not that good in your deck. Sometimes it's a good card, not really in your deck. I mean, usually in sideboarding, I just be like, what's the worst cards in my deck in the matchup? Like maybe it's a good like this
Yeah,
could be a good Professor Zai matchup because they're like a slow deck or whatever. And like,
that's right. Yeah,
but
yeah. I ended up
anyways,
doing nothing. Like I don't know. Yeah, like it looks like I was thinking. I don't know why I moved the battle fan there, but I'm not sure what. Yeah,
I mean, your options are kind of slim. I mean, also maybe you could be like, oh, I can splash in the matchup because they're slower, but it's not like Azula is that good against them because they have a lot of removal, presumably.
yeah.
Okay.
Azula seems pretty bad in this. I mean, it's I don't know. It's felt kind of like I've been
Wow.
teasing
Same
opponents
draw.
with it, but
Or no, I mean, yeah, like the red Azula, the Grixis Azula, or if that's the one you mean.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the two drop Azula. Is there ever a reason to hold the court official? Like, is I mean, you play this every time, right? Like on
Yeah, I mean,
turn
if I don't have anything
one,
to do
two.
on turn two, it's hard to imagine not playing it on turn two. Because, like, what I mean, like, you're gonna tap out, like, you're gonna play a three drop next turn, and then, like,
Yeah,
it's just like the damage matters. Like, the what, like, you get it, like, like, let's say you get attacked for one if they play nothing, that's 5% of their life or whatever. So, and also, like, look
hmm
at your hand, like, the damage is gonna matter this game, because, like, your plan is to attack them, basically.
yeah,
That's what your premium 3-1's trying to do, at least. So let's see. Ang's, yeah, this is good because like now if they attack, you got to deal one damage to them. It's broken.
yeah.
Yeah, and you probably have to play your broken creature, I guess. Not really a lot of options. They got a did they get a mountain? So they're only teamer. Okay. I guess they're not that ambitious. Or they could still be four colors. Sometimes you don't play the basic depending on everything, but seems unlikely. Okay, so this
Yeah, I
happens.
don't remember. So
Yeah.
I think they offer this trade.
Oh, that's interesting. Because you would presume they would rather
Oh,
block. Oh wow,
yeah, they don't.
oh, actually, this was interesting. You could have put it on the, if you know the synergy. Like, why did you choose not to put it on the land? Did you forget about it? The uncommon land, I
Yeah,
mean.
yeah, this was just a total throw. I didn't think about it. Yeah, that would have absolutely been the correct play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess they
I
do
was
that.
thinking,
Yeah.
yeah, I got tunnel vision. I'm like, oh, I got two black. I'll have three black in total. I'll put it on a swamp.
Yeah. You were scared of how much power the synergy might have been. Okay, so let's see. Um, yeah, they
um,
attack. I mean, yeah, it's kind of funny. I mean, yeah, I guess you have like like your options are like, do you just snare their guy or do you pass with the sold out up? Like if you try and like snare their guy, they could quench it. Like, what were you thinking? But like if they have quench, they probably can
yeah,
quench your spirit anyway. So like maybe it's fine. You could like, yes, yeah. What are you saying?
I I think I was thinking I would tr snare the rebellious captives and get the quench out of their hand. As a worst case. Um, which would open me up to play the benevolent later. But 2 points of damage is really not that valuable at this point. And I mean, yeah, now that you mention it, like I'm realizing like holding up my blocker and sold out might have been the way better play.
Yeah.
I don't think I considered
Well,
that.
I would lean to this snare, and I can say the reason why is kind of like this is what I would call like I think probably the main thing when you're assessing the position is like, am I ahead or am I behind? And it's like like theoretically, close to half the time outside of deck building edge, you're not going to be ahead. And like, I don't think you're in a very
Yeah.
good position here. So like, well, it's like what can go wrong? So it's like, so like, if you pass with sold out, the problem is what if they don't play something you want to use sold out on, right? Then you might just waste your whole
Hmm.
turn, all four mana, because like then you're gonna feel like you pass to them, and like what if they just don't play something you want to sold out, which is like that could pretty reasonably happen. Now you just wasted your whole turn. So like that's why I might lean to just play this trap, and I'm just gonna hold the sold out because then I can use it more at my convenience. Because I'm scared that I pass with sold out, they don't do anything, and then what? You know what I mean? Like I don't know if I should start
Yeah.
naming cards they could play, but like there's a lot of cards they could play. There's a lot of ways you don't want to cast Sold Out next turn, and then it's like, then what? Now that sucks. You kind of want to trap this guy because like nothing is going on. Trap's not even that good of a removal spell, and like that's what I mean by behind. Like, yeah, you want to be smart and you want to play around Quench or whatever, but it's like, are you really in a position that you can play around it? Because like you have this expensive flyer in your hand anyway. Your hand's expensive, and like your cards aren't even that good. Like you don't really have that much going on. All you have going on is this flyer and some removal. So like obviously, if they face up literally had
Yeah.
Quench, then you might be like, oh, they have they face up have Quench. Then you're like if they face up there's like yeah if they face up have Quench, then maybe you'd consider like playing around it the whole game or whatever. But they're not playing face up, and it's like
Right.
the problem is like if you don't well actually there's a few things I would say about this because here's actually a good point. The problem is like well, it's what I said before. Basically, is like if you pass, so like okay, you don't play the snare, so you're quote unquote playing around Quench. But the problem is if you pass and they don't do anything you want to kill, then your turn is wasted. And the thing is, if you do nothing, like let's say your plan is attack, like it's just like you're like oh yeah, I'm not going to play the Sold Out whatever, and like because I know they have Quench face up. The problem is, what if they just play something like an Ostrich Farmer or whatever, or like the 4 mana draw two, and then you didn't spend the turn playing the 3 mana. Like I'm basically, I don't know if you can afford to not spend your mana this turn, is what I'm saying. So like even if they have the Quench, just take the 1 for 1, because like if you try and do
Yeah.
literally nothing, then you're just too far behind. Because let's say you pass and they play a draw two, and now you're just too far behind. At least if you use the snare, they still have to use a Quench. That means they have one less card. That means they only have 2 cards left. That means they're less likely to have ways to deal with the rest of what you have going on, like your whatever flyer. So I think it's pretty good probably
Yeah.
to just trap their guy, swing for 2, and go from there because of that. Because like basically the reason I'm just thinking, what happens? Yeah, what happened? Like what happens if I pass? Doesn't seem good to me. If they Quench, seems fine to me. Obviously, if it's literally face up and they have 3 Quenches, I might play around it, but it's not face up. There's a lot of other things that can happen. Like it's like if you play it into one card, you might be playing into another or whatever. So yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, so
Okay.
yeah, we
Awesome.
can see
Love
what
that. Yeah.
happens.
So I mean, it almost sounds like even if they did have a face of Quench, it would still be the best play then,
But
right?
yeah.
Yeah, like 1 for 1. Yeah. So yeah, here I do it pre-combat. I don't know if that was.
Well, I would probably attack for 2 because I don't think it's like you're not gonna octopus form your guy basically unless they literally play
Yeah,
that.
I don't know what I was thinking there. Like I don't know what happened there. I mean, that
Yeah,
was
I mean there's the one punish is that there's like that aura that taps your guy, but maybe you have to risk it. So also they didn't play
yeah.
they also didn't play it
I
last
think
turn. Yep.
I was respecting Quench way too much here. I was probably thinking
Yeah.
like, oh, well, then I'll be able to block the 2/2 and get it out of the
Oh,
way.
I see. That's fun. Yeah, I didn't think about that. I guess that would be a reason to consider it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, it was probably
I guess I'm
yeah,
kind of like valuing the damage, but like maybe it's worth it. Because like the 2 damage, while you said it's not a lot, it's still like the way you're winning this game is reducing their life. Like you're kind of the aggressive deck here, and two damage is like 10% of their life. But
yeah.
yeah, if you
That
animated
reminds
the
me of
land, it would have been
myself. I
sick.
thought I should have animated the island, which is
Yeah, it would have been
still
sick
not
here.
great.
Because if you animated the black red land, you could sack it for free here. Well, I guess not, you'd lose it
Yeah,
too. But like the card's probably worth more. Yeah, then you can play Grand, I guess.
yeah, I agree.
I mean, yeah. So now if I mean, it's not 100% if it would be the best play, but it would be the most mana efficient play, I guess. So they play this horrible archer, sure.
So I left a note like, was it better to hold up Sold Out here rather than attack? I'm not sure why I was thinking that.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean, it seems reasonable to consider because, like, again, it's just like, what's the situation that you get punished for attacking? Maybe they play a guy and you want to Sold Out it, so it's like you value the flexibility to have Sold Out up versus the ability to get the 2 damage in. Seems kind of close. I mean, they haven't been
yeah,
playing anything. It's like you don't even have a play lined up. Well, like, let's say you draw a land, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't know.
yeah.
Like,
So then
maybe
I
you
could have
could.
like, if I drew a land, I would have been able to
Yeah,
get value out or loot with Grand and then play the Benevolent at
yeah.
the same time.
So like maybe it's kind of close because
Uh,
like the 2 damage does kind of matter. So it seems kind of close. I
yeah,
don't know. So yeah, they play this archer thing, I guess. Then
What do they do? They discard a forest. If they are a
Okay.
forest, they seem kind of flooded out.
Yeah. It's kind of interesting because they didn't sack their land, so they won it, presumably. I mean, you could just. I guess you're like maybe you're thinking I want to pass because I don't want to trade Grand because I want to cast my 5 drop or whatever, and like it's not even that good. I mean, like the only choice here is like, oh, do you want to like loot with do you want to attack with the Grand or not? And I guess where you think like what were you thinking?
Yeah.
Were you like, nah, I'll just hold it
Um,
because of
I I think I was thinking that attacking with both creatures is okay. Like, you know, I don't know why. I think I was thinking that it would be okay to trade Grand for the archers because I had two draw, you know, lands that I could use to draw, and um, I mean, I guess I don't know if I was considering like it gets me further away from Benevolent River Spirit.
yeah, I think it's like pretty good to not attack because of the spirit, and also because you don't have anything you want to discard anyway. Like the fact you have the set, like what do you want? Like if you draw a card, like all your spells are good, pretty much.
Yeah.
So you're not even getting a lot of value out of the loot, and like I mean, basically mostly the water bent. So I don't know, maybe I'd attack with the 2/2 and then uh
Yeah. Let's see
just
what I ended up doing. Oh, it looks like
nothing. Yeah, you don't even offer the
I didn't
trade.
go for any attack. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's better between maybe you wanted to block their guy or something with your 2/2.
I must have
Uh,
been thinking I wanted to have the ability to block rather than attack, then take three and then not be able to block. Um, yeah, I guess I'm never blocking with Grand. So
oh,
I was
yeah,
protecting my life total here, just trying to keep the
yeah.
life from becoming too discrepant.
I mean, I might think even though we might be under pressure on the life, I could still see us caring about the life more because like they might have like blue draw spells in their deck or whatever.
Yeah.
And like we have a lot of good tools to win the race back, but like the way you can get punished is if they have like some like weird haste creature or whatever, then maybe you'd want to leave this back. But like there's not a lot of haste creatures they'd play. There's like a rare. But anyway,
Yeah, I think
um,
that's only the rare, right? Like
yeah,
there's a three drop, but it's pretty weak.
yeah. Like they're probably not going to play it. So anyway, the game continues here, I guess. Oh wow, that's it's literally oh no, I guess it's not free because you don't have double blue. So I guess it's interesting. I mean, you can
Yeah.
tap out for your spirit, maybe. Maybe you're scared they have a counter
I don't
spell
know
or
what I'm doing
something.
here. Like, why did I go to attack?
Maybe you're thinking about playing the
Because I
fortune
must
teller.
have.
I mean, it
Okay,
seems like
I
that.
guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what my thought process is here. So I'm going for the fortune teller and then holding up sold out, I guess.
I mean, I guess the one thing about this is that like, I mean, it's a weird thing to say, but like, you don't have anything that good to loot away. So like, maybe you're like, by delaying my water bends, I'm giving myself better loot value, and like, maybe that will matter. Um,
Yeah.
But they can't really block your Grand. So like I might not be too scared of the loot value because like you have all these lands because like you're probably gonna be able to loot again with the Grand. Like probably I go for the 5 drop for the 7 drop. Like, but I maybe you were scared of Quench. Maybe you were scared of the loot value. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know what's going on through my head there. That was a.
Also, like one good thing about attacking slowly is that like if they trade with your 2/2, then they can't threaten to block your Grand, so your Grand can start attacking. But anyway, I guess oh, and you're holding up sold out. So yeah, so we can just pass here, I guess, unless you crack the clue, but
Yeah.
probably don't. Probably you're like now I can air. You're
Yeah.
like probably well you're like I can play around whatever this thing is called quench next turn with my spirit.
Yeah. That's exactly it. I put a note here.
Yeah,
Playing around Crunch, probably incorrect. Should have maybe slammed Benevolent.
yeah, it's kind of close. Like one of the things is that like they could like just play like a draw spell. Like if they find like the 4 mana like draw 3, then you might get punished for dirtling too much. But obviously
Yeah.
there's considerations. It
I mean,
didn't.
they
Yeah.
also didn't have Quench earlier, right? Like I
Yeah,
put that in the note, like,
yeah.
and so yeah, I don't know.
And also, it's kind of anecdotal, but they have more non-blue lands, which makes them less likely to have Quench. Okay, so they do that.
Oh,
So there's,
interesting. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I don't remember game one how many blue lands they played, but it might be the splash anyway. So this is interesting, I guess. Let's see if they attack. Okay, they're they're deciding because it's kind of interesting because you could like you have the option to use your sold out or you could try and triple block it, but then like you lose your swamp and your grand, so it's kind of interesting, I guess. Uh,
I see.
yeah, like if it was me, this is where I might get carried away by like by blocking everything. Oh wow, this is great. Oh yeah, so you're gonna actually use your thing. I mean, the problem with this line is if they have the shock, you get it's game over.
I get destroyed here, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe you forgot they had the shock because I feel like if you remember they had the shock, like you probably wouldn't do this line. You're probably like they have one mana, they can't do anything, or was this a calculated
Yeah,
risk?
I definitely thought like there's no way they can have something here.
Yeah. Although it would be the
So
wrong
yeah, I
creature. Yeah,
forgot
yeah.
about the shot.
Well, I guess yeah. So yeah,
Yeah, I
you also would have pumped
it,
the wrong creature because you could have pumped the 1/3 to get around the shock a little bit. But anyway, so this
yeah.
happens. Now you can crack the clue, I guess. Yeah, it's kind of an interesting option. Like if you didn't block, because it's like kind of interesting was the sold out. Because you're like, well, I could sold out this, but like maybe I want to save it for something better, but it's more mana efficient to do this. But anyway, so you trade
Yeah.
the grand and the thing with that. So yeah, I guess you have the option to crack the clue, but you're like maybe you're like I'll hold it for the airbend. Oh, I'll get
And then
June.
drew June, which is
Does that let you
uh
play the everything, your whole hand, I guess, or yeah, I think so. Or actually,
I think I have
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so you
looks like
can
I'm
play
counting it out
June.
here.
Yeah, just watch yeah, and then you can do that. And then they're probably thinking, wow, what they weren't playing these cards for all these turns. What the hell? Yeah, Messenger Hawk looking
I
good,
want
I
the hawk
guess.
here, I think.
Yeah, it seems kind of broken here because it's basically free. It's like a
Yeah.
free broken thing.
Um, sorry, my boss keeps calling. You mind if we
Okay,
pause for just 2 more minutes?
yeah, that's fine.
I'll be right back. Sorry about that. I'm back.
Yeah, okay. Yeah,
Okay, so yeah.
yeah,
So I slam below. Okay, so we're on their turn. They play another archer. They can double block my benevolent, but I
yeah.
have sold out. Oh, and they play this
Rare.
guy.
Yeah, it's kind of a sick joke that they have this 2 mana 3/1 in red and the 2 mana 1/3 in blue. Like, just look at this.
That's funny.
Uh,
So am
yeah,
I attacking here and like, you know, trying to get both of the archers off the board basically?
well, I guess the
Or am
first
I trying to
option is,
respect this guy a bit more?
yeah, I mean, I would lean to probably trying to kill that rare because it's pretty good. Like if you don't kill it, like I mean, the first option is like, do you kill the rare or not? It seems like you probably should because it can literally just chump block. It can make infinite chump blockers basically. Because like if you don't
Yeah.
kill it, let's say you don't kill it, then they untap. They play any spell. They can turn. I think they can make the clue on your like they can turn it into a flyer on your turn, and then they can probably just even sack and block it.
Yep.
So I don't know. It seems like you probably have to kill that 1/3. Like they have no cards left and an infinite mana, so probably just kill that 1/3. Probably sack to draw a card and swing for 6. And like you have the 1/3 back to block. You have the June. You know you get attack with the June because you drew from the clue, and you got to swing for 6. It's probably a
Yeah.
good play.
So okay, and that basically, I mean, it's trading this guy for these two, which
Oh, okay.
basically wipe their board. I mean, I don't know. That's probably is that okay? Like it might be right. Like wipe their board. They have one card left, and they have a single draw from the
Yeah, I mean,
land.
if you try and like do some shenanigans, the problem is if you leave them as the 1/3, can they can just block your one their 4/5 with the clue. Obviously, they have to make a clue every turn, but I think they could like. I guess they can't sack it right away because it's probably summoning sick when they first make it. But like, they what if they like play like a 4 mana, draw 3 cards, and then they make like a lot of clues at once?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess the question is like, how do you lose this game? And if I mean, it's not like I thought about it that deep, but to me, it felt like if they have that rare in play, it could like generate them resources to somehow lead to you losing the game. Of like
Yeah.
they
No,
could
that does
yeah,
make sense.
they could
Yeah.
untap and like play like a removal spell on your 4/5, like the 1 mana removal spell, and then they like then what? Then maybe things are more awkward, right? Like let's say yeah, you attack, they try and double block your thing, you kill it, but then they untap, they play a removal spell that taps your guy, and then like their life total is like 17 life, and like your only pressure is like a couple 2/2s, and they have this rare in play. So I don't know. I feel like you probably have to kill it. And like if they trade their whole board, it's probably good for you because you have like June, which they need to kill, and if they play any creatures, then you just like keep using June and drawing cards. And if they find removal, then you attack with your like other creatures, and you have Messenger Hawk, and you have like multiple cycling lands.
Yeah. Yeah. Thought process makes perfect sense.
Yeah,
Let's see if I what I end up doing. I have a feeling I ended up doing the wrong thing, but we'll see.
yeah,
So crack the clue first,
yeah.
and
I
then
mean, I
I
guess might
attack
as
with
well. It's
both.
free because they can't quench you. Okay, so then they do that. I mean, you can also swing with the 1/3, I guess, if you're scared of them double blocking. But then they could like
Yeah.
maybe
So
attack you back.
yeah,
Oh, yeah, you
here I
disrespect their
just
professor.
yeah I disrespected the yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
So
bad, man.
yeah, but they don't do anything now. I guess you can just sack the thing and attack and see what happens. I guess.
Yeah, I might attack with a hawk here if I remember correctly.
Yeah, because you can if you just offer the trade, I guess, because it's always going to trade anyway with a 3/1. So might as well.
Yeah, they could have an instant and then create a blocker out of nowhere. Like
I guess if they have the Phoenix, the what's it called? Oh yeah, this is nice
so
for them.
here, I think I'm gonna sold out in response on the Machinist.
Yeah, I feel like you should because otherwise they could just make a clue and trade with something.
Right.
So it's kind of brutal. And then
Yeah.
yeah, because now they have all these clues.
Yeah, I really screwed up. I gave him value by not killing that.
Uh, yeah, but yeah, it was
I kept that second from top, and then we
yeah,
have these two coming in.
yeah. So they single block, they take 2, but now it's getting close again, I guess.
Yeah.
If they have some sick cards, some good. Oh yeah, I was gonna say I forgot about the owl. The owl could get them back in the game, so like maybe that's a reason not to use removal if you're scared of the owl. But
Oh,
I
yeah.
probably, I mean, I don't know, probably wouldn't.
I
I don't
mean,
know.
like when you're playing sealed, like in a position like that, am I playing around like the mythic rare, like best card in the set situation, or am I
Well, you
respecting like the
probably.
rare that's on the board?
Yeah. I mean, if you were planning to kill the 3/1 if they double block, you're not playing around the owl anyway. So because they have the
Yeah,
three
yeah.
ones, then yeah. Anyway, so this happens. And yeah, if you're sacking the clues. Here you just hope they don't play like a Boomy or whatever that guy's called.
All right, yeah.
Oh, here
That
it
doesn't
is, what
work
I've been
because it's
talking
not
about
binding
all
there.
night, the water bending lesson.
Yeah.
That
Thank
card
you.
pisses me off whenever it was a board stall and my opponent cast it. I was like, okay, yeah, so yeah, I guess you can play the Hawk and like maybe draw a card. Maybe that's a good play. Why not? Yeah. Because then you can attack with your June unblockable. So maybe it makes sense to start like that, and then you can probably play the Pox Bearer.
Yeah. I think I'm thinking through Hawk, draw, attack with everything.
Yeah. The only reason not to attack was the swamp is like if you want to use the June, but it's probably fine to attack with the swamp. I I don't know if there's a board wipe that there's a red. I mean, there's like a bonus sheet Cascade board wipe, but I don't even know what it does. If if you know what that is, there is
Oh,
technically.
I've seen it. It's never been played against me or anything, but
Oh,
I've
what's
seen it
happening? You're
where
doing some
it
deep shit
does.
here. Are you about to sack your own land? What's happening here?
I don't know what I'm doing here.
Okay. Yeah, you're trying to get the Val. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, I'm trying to draw the flyer
Oh, because you
and
can
make it.
recast it. Sure, that makes sense. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah. Seems reasonable, I guess. Uh,
Yeah, so I guess I wasn't looking to play out those other
yeah.
two. Like I felt like, let's play the flyer and I can get these other two cards out the next
Uh,
turn,
yeah.
and they don't have a profitable block.
Yeah,
I
seems.
think I was feeling like I needed to do something,
I mean, the reason I might
crazy.
see. Yeah. The reason, like, in this situation, I feel like almost the only card you would lose to is that owl. So, like, I could see like, just playing the creatures might be a better play against the owl than playing the thing.
Yeah,
Like, I would be like, what's the upside of getting down this 4/5? And there's probably not that much of an upside. Like it's kind of weird because like normal heuristics might want you to play it, but I guess I would just be like, how do I lose this game? Probably if they play some obscene mythic rare. So I'd probably just try and attack to get my damage in now and just like play all the guys. Because like, how do I lose? There's like the 6 mana mythic that also, if you know what I mean, like the green mythic that like draws 3 cards. Uh,
yeah.
there's the red mythic that also draws 3 cards, and then there's the blue mythic
Oh
that draws
yeah,
three
yeah. I've
cards.
played that one.
So like, I would probably be
Yeah,
tempted
you're
to
right,
attack.
and I think you're completely right, and I think I'm getting punished for that here because they're gonna tap out to or tap a bunch of lands to kill this thing,
Sure.
and I didn't get damage in. You know what I mean? Like I could have gotten
Like the 2/2.
basically,
Yeah, the 2/2 trades. So
yeah,
instead of a clue, you trade, but then they take one from your forecasting foretellers or whatever. Yeah. Anyway,
exactly,
so
yeah,
this happens.
and
Yeah, I mean it's probably
yeah, sucks.
yeah, yeah. I mean that doesn't really translate that well to other formats. It's kind of a sealed thing where it's like you feel ahead, but your opponent could have mythic rares. That's what I learned in the arena directs.
Yeah,
I started just thinking like whenever I felt like I was ahead, I'm like, what if my opponent has the most insane mythic in their hand? And then I would play like that. Like that's kind of what I would be thinking here. Like let's say my opponent has a really good mythic. Oh yeah, they do a little recovery here. They could have the draw
yeah.
nine.
That's
Oh,
a
this is the
good
Iroh.
mythic.
Yeah, yeah, you know what's the best mythic they could have here? It's actually Iroh. Don't even worry about it if you know what it does.
Oh my gosh. Actually, I mean, yeah, you're right. That graveyard looks like it's an Iroh deck, right? It's a
Well, yeah.
T-rare card, if I remember
Yeah.
correctly.
I actually yesterday I was playing a game and I was like trying to play around a Wrath and then my opponent played 2 Irohs and I still won, but I was freaking out. Thought if I went too far. But like that's a good seal. I mean, it depends on the sealed format because like some sealed formats are more a little bit slower. But definitely this one, it feels there's like a lot of bombs and you kind of have to go aggro. So yeah,
Yeah,
I guess you
no,
probably sack the
it's
clue.
a very bomby format. Yeah,
Yeah, so it's
that's
like
what I do here.
you feel like you're ahead, but now your opponent could literally just play the draw set, the Wheel of Fortune, and then you're screwed. The one-sided Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, because
Yeah,
you're not actually that ahead. Like they have one card, they can just sack this thing, they get a trigger, and then yeah. I mean, based on the
yeah.
lengths,
I
maybe
think
it
they
looks
play
like you're gonna
Iroh
win.
here, no?
No,
Oh,
Boomy. That card's
that's what
actually
it said.
fucked up here, though. That card's so good here. Oh my god, I can't even. And they can sack this thing mid comp. Oh, they're doing that. Okay, yeah, because they want the 3/3. Makes sense. Yeah, and you don't have that good blocks. They're turning the corner now. Well, not really, but well,
Yeah.
it's a 7/7. It's pretty good. And they're at 9 life. Some. Oh my god, it doesn't stop. And they went two
They're
on
gonna
top.
take this.
Yeah, I guess you were like you can't really block it that well. Wow, yeah, you might lose here. That's funny. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Holy. Yeah, if this was like an
Going
arena
against
deck, I would be like
Foxberries.
I would take a break for a few hours after this. Uh yeah. Yeah, are you planning to sack the thing, I guess? The 2-1?
Yeah, I don't know if this was like. I mean, it looks like I'm trying to determine whether or not I should play Swamp Snare, sack a Foxberry, draw like draw another
Yeah.
clue, or
I
just
mean, you
sack.
probably want to yes, maybe you want to sack the Poxbearer because that way you get to attack with the 2/2 and they don't have any reach creatures, right? Oh no, they have one. But you could
They
potentially
have
kill the
one.
reach creature and try and have lethal next turn.
So it looks like yeah,
Yeah, so you do
maybe.
that, then you sack the clue, then you trap their reach creature, and then you swing for 5. And you know they kept the card on top,
Yeah,
but I
it
don't
looks
know.
like that's the same line that I saw.
Yeah. Now you're thinking not like this, not like this
Yeah.
in the prelim or whatever. Oh wow, you guys a trigger. Yeah. I mean, what can you do?
I don't think I even saw that one.
Yeah. Yeah. But they should maybe I don't know if that was the right whatever for them. Okay, yeah, so you attack for 5 and just hope it works, I guess, but you like know
Yeah, I'm
they went top
basically
top.
all in on yeah, they don't top deck anything.
Yeah.
I just need to survive the next turn. I'll
Yeah.
sacrifice,
This is
whatever
exactly how a lot of
land
my
drop.
arena directs looked. Also, worth noting was the 3-1. We had a lot of times to try and trade with the 3-1 and we didn't, then we had to snare it. Like if we just traded with the 2/2
Yeah.
land earlier, not that
I've
it would
made
have
so many mistakes this game, yeah.
yeah,
I
so
think here
then
I happily throw the 5/5 in
trade,
front of the 7/7.
sure. I guess you could just take the 5. I mean, you could also chump it maybe, but I don't even know it's better. Oh, maybe. Oh, you're. Oh,
Yeah, it looks
wait.
like I
Yeah,
decided to jump it. Or
yeah,
no?
yeah. I'm not sure what's the better play here. I'd have to think. And maybe it
I'm
is good
not
to chump
sure
it because
why I
it's
decided to
like,
do this.
yeah. I mean, maybe this is the better
Because
play
like,
because it can
yeah,
let you survive if
I
like
mean,
it saves the most life. Like it's like, is this 1/1 really getting better? This is like the most life you can save,
I guess that
basic.
makes sense. Yeah.
Because like let's say next turn they let's say they like kill one of your guys and you sack a thing and then you have to trump with the colors. Okay, I guess you can just yeah you can discard the swamp.
So I'm looking for Azula here, I guess.
Yeah.
And then
Wow.
I get really lucky and find the Azula.
Yeah. Interesting. Did yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And basically just get really lucky into finding lethal.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Do they have the
They want to see
song?
their next card. Like, because they had no cards in hand. I think they just wanted to see what they would have drawn.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
that was
The
it.
sound ending.
Yeah, I was only going to record for that match. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah. I have another one. Maybe we could do that for the next session. So I have another one for the last round of this prelim. This is actually really helpful. Like I mean, the games where I'm winning, but I'm finding out like just how flawed the play was. Are I find those to be like really helpful. But I have quite a few on standard as well. Have you been digging into the standard format much for
not
are
that
you playing
much.
worlds or anything?
No, they won't let me. So, uh,
Yeah.
not that much. I'm waiting for Lorwyn more. I mean, I kept a little eye out. I mean, I know Boomerang Basics. They're playing a joke on us, I guess.
Yeah.
Ban Tabe and then print. I mean, obviously they don't know. I mean, I guess they did know it's coming. I mean, anyway. I mean, I mean, I will say like if I mean, it does seem a little bit like funny that like I mean, if they knew it was coming and they had Storm Chasers talent and they like I don't know. I'm not saying they should have banned talent or anything, but it's kind of funny that like
It's insane.
it's yeah
It's
it seems like it
it,
seems unfair. I don't know. Yeah.
it's just hard to believe it's not intentional, because it's just so obvious, right? Like I don't know. I don't know what's going on
Well,
with that
the
anymore.
thing that's funny to me is that like they banned 20 cards and then they printed Boomerang Basics with talent.
Yeah.
Like they banned this
It's like
town, and
man, like this town ain't big enough, or like they
it's
just
also
want
funny because like
the bounce archetype.
Yeah, I saw everybody was rioting that they need to ban Into the Flood Maw, and this card's like better than it, pretty much when standard at
I
least.
know, man.
Also, I was saying like if they had this in the Cutter deck or like was Proft, it would have been sick. Like like they should just unban VV and Cutter and just give like let people figure it out. Because
I honestly think they should, man. I mean, have you seen the Bat deck? I don't know if it's tier one or whatever, but like, I mean, I don't know. Standard just feels like a hardcore combo format right now. Like the Bant deck where it goes infinite with like the airbending seems really good. And then you have the Teamer, like the Teamer Otters list, which is like another like make a million one ones combo deck. It just feels like modern light right now in standard. And I mean, at that point, you might as well just keep VV unbanned and bring back Cutter and just lean into it.
yeah, yeah. All I saw, I looked today. I saw the blue red aggro decks that were like, if you know what I'm talking about, or the blue red decks
Yeah.
that play like like the Boomerang Basics one. And I'm like, wow, yeah. Well, I was thinking, I was like, I don't like. I could see a lot of the deck seems kind of good, but it is kind of like a fair version of it's like the VV Cauldron deck, but you got rid of Proft, you got rid of that, and now it's just like Quantum Riddler, cheap cards, and Boomerang Basics. Um,
Yeah.
but I mean, it is kind of nice. Like Torture Tower is like a really good card, and uh, it gets to play Winter Night Stories in a fair way, I guess, which is funny. But like not having, yeah, I mean, it's good they pan Proft. I guess it would be good in that deck. So I don't know. I'm interested. Yeah.
Have you seen the version with Splash Portal? It's kind of the same shell, but just without the Winter Knights, and instead you're just like blinking the Riddler, like you scam it or whatever. I've been playing that one on the ladder. It's felt like really strong. I mean, I'm not playing like super serious games or anything, but like I've gone like pretty much undefeated for 2 weeks with that one. like, so I don't know, like that's the one I'm finding. Like, I actually wanted to dig into that one with you a bit more once we can like shift to constructed. We're closer to the RC. I'm fundamentally I'm trying to pick like a good archetype and then just kind of lean into it and master it as much as possible. There's another complication, which is like I just learned that Lorwyn drops the
Before.
week, like the pre-release is the week before the RC.
Huh?
So I don't know what that's gonna do to like the meta. There's just gonna be all these new cards that are like, they go legal the day the RC starts. So like I don't know if it even makes sense to like practice standard decks, like, or if I should be like theory crafting with like Lorwyn cards or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think it makes sense. I mean, it depends how many other things you want to do, but like you'll probably have more better knowledge of the next standard. It's not going to hurt you to play this standard. It's not obvious how much the format will change. Like it just kind of depends how good the set is. Like when some sets don't impact standard that much, some sets impact it a lot. So it's not clear, right? Like you don't know if Lorwyn's going to be the next most broken set of all time, or if it's going to be another like Acer Drift that has one card that's playable in it. Uh, I would
Yeah.
I would guess that I don't know. Isn't there like a million sets in standard? Like the fact that there's like 100 sets in standard. I mean, it's probably not going to change the whole format, to be honest. Like probably this whatever bouncy nonsense is going to be really good, assuming it's. I mean, I guess it's going to be legal. Like yeah, this Boomerang Basics. Like I don't know, the interaction of Boomerang Basics and Talent seems pretty good. I mean, I haven't played with it, but it seems kind of silly for standard. Especially literally the fact that
Yeah.
you can just level it. Like you can just level the talent and get it back. But
Yeah, I definitely feel like I mean, at least the way I feel like right now, like Boomerang Basics and Storm Chaser's Talent, like whatever deck I play, it's got to be around those cards. Like
yeah,
it feels
so
kind of silly if it's not, right?
it makes sense to explore the archetypes so that you can have like a better understanding of how to play that deck. Like maybe you try, like not non-blue red versions. Maybe you try with the what do you call it, the splash portal. Yeah, I saw that people like they have the Thunder
Yeah.
Trap Trainer and the splash portal, and like you can even try this other ETB cards. Like you could consider like the 2-mana artifact that makes a hero token because you can Boomerang Basics it. I don't
Oh
know,
shit. Yeah, that's pretty good.
and you can find it off Thunder
Yeah, I
Trap
mean,
Trainer, because it's a non-creature spell. And there's like I just went on the thing today and I saw everybody was playing the Tiger Seal version. I'm like, oh, that kind of makes sense, I guess, because like it's a 1-drop. I don't know, or like but yeah, like there's the Thunder Trap Trainer version. There's a non. Like the low curve one kind of makes sense because it's good with Riddler. Like if you just like dump your hand out, it's kind of good with Riddler, I guess, compared to like the. Well, I guess
Yeah.
Splash Portal's good with Riddler. So I guess I don't know. I mean, you just try them and see how they go. But like I could imagine if you play like a more controlling Thunder Trap Trainer version, then like maybe you're not as good at using Riddler in the sense that like you can't like maybe the other one, the low curve is just good. Like just dump your hand, be proactive, and like it's good that you don't have to like react to your opponent because you're just like playing Mako and Tiger Seal on turn one, so like you get more one drops, and maybe that's good because I don't know because
Yeah.
like
I mean, so
yeah.
like yeah, this is. I mean, just hearing you kind of like talk through it all, like it's pretty exciting. So I don't like I recently moved to Texas from California. I don't have any friends out here to like test with and stuff. Um, so I'm willing to like hire you to like help me play test, like leading up to the event, and I'm willing to put a bunch of money into it. Like I want to, make the best of this and like really go in feeling prepared. So I mean, yeah, I'd love to keep doing some more of these like playthroughs. Just like, and once you have the video up on YouTube, let me know. Like, I'd love to rewatch everything that we just went through. It's incredibly helpful. But yeah, sometime closer to the RC, like maybe a couple weeks before, maybe we could shift to like more play testing, like archetype, matchup testing, stuff like that. And yeah, man, I'm down to pretty much book you for as much time as possible over the next couple months.
Yeah, it sounds good. I mean, I would say that like regarding this kind of an interesting thing, like if you're like trying to find like like a playtest team or like maybe whatever, like maybe on Twitter and or Discord or whatever. Like I mean I know some groups where there's people maybe like there's one really big group called the Boomer Zoomer Magic group that I'm in that can be good for finding people maybe also. But I would say
Yeah.
you might be worried about like one thing that I think is interesting about teams in Magic. I was telling somebody today is that like it kind of seems like it's become a conventional wisdom these days that like oh yeah if you're like you need a team that's really important like people always say oh yeah it's really important to have a team so everyone just says oh yeah it's really important to have a team but like people don't think as much about like what should a team be doing and like how should a team work because it's actually like I kind of had a like uh contrarian view that like there's like a lot of downsides on to being on teams too, and they're all like really good players who are like not on teams. Like Shota, like the Japanese guy Shota's like basically tests alone. And there was
Yeah.
like an old interview where he said he doesn't want nobody needs to listen to what he says anyway or something like that. So like he's like nobody's gonna play my deck anyway, so whatever. I'll just play my own deck. But yeah, I think it got dragged out a bit far. I mean I guess the point is like it could be worse trying to like if you're gonna go super hard for the RC, it could be worse trying to see if there's any like prep groups or like there's some online who are trying, but maybe you're worried that like what if there's too many disagreements or whatever or so on.
Yeah. I
Um,
mean, yeah, like
anyway,
I mean, I would absolutely be open to joining one. Like I've never really had that experience. I think there's a lot that I could bring to the table from like both a monetary standpoint, like I can help invest in source cards, but also from like an analytical standpoint, like that's really where my skills lie. But the most important thing for me is really like the mentorship and the coaching. Like that's because like I'm not, like I'm not deluded. I want a couple of RCQs. Like yeah, they were on the larger side, relatively speaking. Like like I wasn't one of the people that like won like an 8-person RCQ or whatever, and with a bunch of homie scoops like everyone jokes about. But like I ran hot, like I was playing blue white control. I ran really hot a couple times. Like I made a lot of misplays. I have a long ways to go on like getting better. So I mean, yeah, I would if you have recommendations and like I might be able to find myself with maybe like a couple testing partners or something. That'd be awesome just to grind. But I mean, definitely the coaching to me is like going to be the most important thing. Like if I don't get that and all I've done is just kind of prepare, like by learning the cards and that's about it. Like I don't think I'm going to do well at this RC. So it's definitely more about getting better and stuff for me.
yeah, so, makes sense. I mean, I don't know the best way to phrase it, but I'm like trying to say like a mix of like it makes sense to like I mean, it depends when, but like sometimes like maybe find a group. But also, I'm very contrarian in the way that like, for example, like I got way better at
Yeah.
Magic over COVID, and I realized the reason why was because there was nobody around to tell me anything. So I was like, I could think clearly, basically. Well, I mean, that sounds like really like full of yourself to say, but it's kind of true. Like, I was like, wow, I got so much better in the last year. I'm like, oh yeah, because I'm literally just like, I guess what I'm saying is like sometimes it's something I observe. Like, probably the biggest downside of teams, and it does come up because like sometimes people will say you tricked me to play this, or not you tricked me, but you know what I mean. Like, so
Sure.
people on your team might give you like the wrong information, and actually the kind of the weird paradox is like if you're not on like a literally like a platinum team with the best possible players, that's like Brad Nelson and that's it, the only teammate, I guess. Then you're probably most people are gonna be giving you the wrong information. I mean, I guess the way I would see it is like how confident
Yeah.
they are, because like if somebody says something with 100% confidence and like they don't have that great of a win rate, then like you know what I mean. Then you might be like, okay, maybe like that's just a hard thing to navigate. I would say. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of different people, but I would say like Magic players tend to be like too sure of themselves or whatever. So then, like a lot of times, people will tell
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
something, and they're like, "This is how it is," and it's like they're probably wrong because they're like, "Don't." It's not like they're Paulo or something. And also, that's I mean, not to go into that too much, but obviously, if you actually listen to a guy like Paulo, he's always like, "Oh, I never know. I don't know." so, but
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, I guess that's what I would say navigating because that's sometimes like a trap I see get like I sometimes that's how I see people get hurt on teams because like this is the most common thing and this is what I always say when I test with somebody. I'm like just because I say a card is like sometimes you'll see like somebody will be like, oh, I really like this deck, so then like the other teammates will copy it. They'll go to the tournament and they're like, that deck sucked. You scammed me or whatever. So I'll always be like, don't like if you do anything like it's just my suggestions. Like don't do it because I said so or whatever. So like that's I would say that's probably like the downside of working with people. It's just being like you don't want to make a decision. Like, let's say you make a bad decision, and it's kind of like I mean, a good analogy is like if you get a bad stock tip on the bus or whatever. Somebody's like, oh yeah, you should invest in the opera or whatever, and you're like, oh yeah, that's a good idea. I mean, I'm trying to say like it's
Yeah.
like people don't take it that seriously because it's magic, but like yeah, I guess basically what I'm saying is like yeah, that's probably the biggest downside of working on teams. Like I watch people will say things very confidently, and like that's why you also see like teams they all come to the same conclusion. And so if you're just more like aware that like you know being like more fine disagreeing or not like having to listen because like I watch that very often. Like sometimes like there will also be like a scene like let's say there's a scene like let's say in Texas and there's like the best Texas RC grinder and then a bunch of like noobs or whatever. So everybody's listening to him, but the RC grinder like can kind of get too like obviously it depends contextually, but like they might be like this is how it is, and everybody just listens to him, and everybody's scared to disagree with him. But the guy's not actually that good. He's just like, a guy who like
Yeah.
won a
It's the
PT one time,
relative,
PTQ one time.
right?
Yeah. So
Yeah, yeah,
anyway,
yeah. No, that actually that literally happens here. We have like our final boss guy that grinds the tournaments, like or grinds the local RCQs, and he's really good in the local scene. But he hasn't been able to like really break out beyond that. And so no, you're right. And there's a lot of hyperbole. You know what I mean? Like there's so much hyperbole. Like I used to play a lot during COVID, and then I took a break for multiple years. And I mean, I was part of like it wasn't Seth Manfield's like official team, but he had like a lower tier group where people like it grew a lot, and it like was this whole Discord thing. And I mean, there was just so many people that like they're speaking from their own personal excuses, but they assert things as kind of facts, and they don't take into account any of the variables like people's play styles or like what might work for one person versus another person. And so yeah, there's just a lot of vacuumed hyperbolic assertions and stuff like that, and I've always been wary of that. I actually have an anecdote. Like the reason I was like talking about how I try not to rely too much on 17 lands data is, and this is granted that this isn't necessarily correct, but one of the best results I put up on like one of the MTGO Super RCQs. It was a sealed one. I think it was Edge of Eternities. Like I actually put it up by like playing what turned out to be one of the worst cards in Edge of Eternities using 17 lands data as reference. Like it was like that 3/3 haste, that you can like warp in for 1 or 2 or
yeah,
something like that. Yeah, like I had like I pulled like 3 or 4 of them in a pool and just like threw them all in the pool and like played like this really bizarre aggressive deck, and it was just like I don't know, I was winning a lot with it and like I think that game plan really worked. But if I know myself, and if I was just looking in a vacuum like is this a good card? I probably would have not played it and then just played like a worse deck or something. But the game plan I had in that moment, like I had a lot of agency in it, and it just really helped to like piece together something in that pool that could work really well. So yeah, I think. I mean, this is actually like a good article that you should write, man. I've been reading like through your Medium articles. Like, I don't know if you've written about like how to, you get the best out of like teams. Like there's a lot of good content that could come out of that, like when to listen to teammates, how to maintain your own sense of agency, and like, not take hyperbolic statements or like, assertions like too seriously and things like that. I think there could be something really like good there for people, especially people like myself that are relatively new to the competitive scene. And like I haven't found a team yet. Like I don't even have a testing partner. I very likely would end up making a lot of mistakes or falling prey to a lot of the issues that, like the dysfunctions that most teams exhibit.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I would say about 17 lands quickly is that I like again, like I was kind of giving an example of like I would kind of use it more as like checking my assumptions. There'll be formats where like a card has a really good win rate, but like also you have like you're being aware that like 17 lands is best of one on arena. So I mean, I guess I'm not gonna go on like on a 1 hour
Yeah.
lecture on 17 lands because like usually basically like aggressive all in cards. There's like a lot of I guess there's a lot you can say about 17 lands, but I mostly view it in the sense of like oh like for some reason I believe this card is really good. Let me check the data. Let me think about it. Whatever. Then it can be kind of interesting. It's like because I don't know. Yeah, like sometimes like you
Yeah.
hear LSV say yeah, like as I was saying that like the LSV example is good because if LSV says a card's really good, you're probably going to be like, well, I should believe it because he's like one of the best players of all time. But then you check 17 lands data and like the data's not good, and you're like, then you can actually be comfortable believing that because you can trust 17 lands over LSV.
Yeah.
But I view it more, yeah. So I mean, I guess in that case, like I'll give it like one example of when like because I would say I'm a pretty like flexible deck builder in a way. Like at the last PT, I had a red black kind of like controlling deck in draft. It was the same format, Edge of Eternities, and there's the 1 mana 2/1 Jackal Pup. Like it's the uncommon and 2 mana you can clone it if you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And and I had the 5 mana 4/5 reach if you know what I'm talking about. And I was thinking about my
Yeah.
last lot, and I was just like, it was just obvious to me that I wanted the 4/5 reach because my deck was literally never gonna win by attacking. Like it was like I had like triple Bruntar, like I was just like a control deck basically. And I'm like, and actually I was like, oh, the 4/5 reach is good in my deck because I have three Bruntars, so it'll bait the removal spell out, or anyway, whatever. So, but it was like obvious to me. But like a lot of people might be like they think too much in terms of good card, bad card. So they're like the 2/1's really good, but it's
Right.
like what's the strategy of my deck? The strategy of my deck, like I just don't use a 2/1 like at all. Like my deck just doesn't attack. I have like no attackers. And it's like, okay, but the 4/5 reach is actually good because I'm trying to delay the long game block and I have Kavu, Kavu synergies. I mean maybe the 2/1's a Kavu. So there, like I'm probably look at 17 lands as much as anybody. I'm aware of the difference, but I'm also aware like the different decks because that's like I'll give like I mean it's kind of obvious maybe for draft if you draft a lot that like different cards perform in different archetypes. Like if you remember the card Hilderblade, that card I thought was like really really good in
Yeah.
black white. Like some people thought it wasn't that good, but like in my opinion, if you're black white, that card was like very good because it was really easy to warp in black white. But like if you're black green, obviously, I mean it's hard to use. And if you're blue black, like blue black, it might be fine. But like basically in black white, it was really good. And it's like you obviously can interpret you can consider that. I mean, 17 lands does include that because when you click on it, it'll show the different colors. But I guess like think about the
Right.
strategy of your deck, and it's like what is my deck in the moment missing? Like a lot of being good and limited. Like I found that like is like you have to really hone into being flexible in the moment of like what do you need in the moment, and like do picks that are really unintuitive. Like at the last PT, I remember I picked I had a pick in like pack three, and it was between Orbital Plunge and like that Eldrazi, the rare Eldrazi that's really good, and it was just like obvious like it felt bad at first because I'm like, I think I have to take the orbital plunge here. But then, like, if you actually say the reasons, it's obvious. But a lot of people might be, scared to do it or whatever. Um,
Yeah.
but I guess the point is like, yeah, you don't like. I would just view 17 lands like mostly as trying to like fine tune, like abstractly, like like yeah, like whatever, just to get an idea, I guess, of stuff. Like,
Yeah. That makes a lot of sense. Like it's kind of like the cards are, like they give you like a general like floor, right? Of like, just when the average or maybe even below average player plays these cards, like this is kind of the floor of the card. It lacks context, and yeah, you need to consider like you were saying your curve. what your game plan is, stuff like that. But like, for learning what the floor of a card is, like it's still very beneficial.
Yeah.
That makes a lot of sense. Like I want to use it that way moving forward because of that, and not just completely avoid it like I've been doing.
Yeah, I mean, I would say like just to give a quick couple exceptions of like when I like disregarded 17 lands because like I'm a 17 lands trucer, like I'll usually know the win rates of almost every card. But like for example, Cryogen Relic, like I remember like everybody was probably yapping about how broken Cryogen Relic was, and I'm like, yeah, I guess it's pretty good. I didn't really care whatever Twitter's saying, but then I got 17 lands and it's like plus 5%. I'm like, oh, that's pretty good. So I did a draft, like I did a couple drafts where I took it really high, but it wasn't like that good in my deck because I was doing like the single Elim drafts and like basically I took it as if it was like a really good uncommon or rare, but I didn't like get enough synergy to go with it, so it just didn't play out that well. Like my opening hand would be like two Cryogen Relics and I would die, and I'm like, okay, like I think the data is inflated on 17 lands because people on 17 lands have perfect decks basically, but like and like that kind of goes into like how much effort does a card take to work or whatever. But then I'm like, okay, like I see Cryogen Relic technically has like the best data, but I'm gonna like discount it a little bit because I think to get the juice to squeeze the juice out of it, you kind of need to have the synergy. And if you're in a scrappy single Elim pod, it's harder to get the synergy. You know what I mean? It's harder to get that synergy deck. You're more leaning on the individual power, whereas what's supposed to be a really good uncommon or rare takes very little effort and it's broken. Like you can't just play Cryogen Relic and it's broken. You need to do something else with it, I guess. And like that wasn't really reflected in the 17 lands data because they all have perfect Mario Kart decks. Like it's like where you eat the Mario star.
Yeah.
So Cryogen Relic's really good when you have an insane deck, but if you're a scrappier deck, it actually like that impacts like how much you have to build around a card. Like so anyway, so then that was me kind of disagreeing with 17 lands. And also the Bruntar. Bruntar's win rate wasn't like that good. And Voidforge Titan too. That was another card I like, the 5/4 Titan.
I remember that, right?
Yeah. And like, I thought those cards were underrated. And like most people will look at 17 lands and they'll be like, oh, the data's not that good. I mean, I kind of have a theory that basically what I would call engine cards get underrated on 17 lands and commons get overrated. Like an engine card basically means a card that can win the game by itself. Like I think cards that can win the game by themselves are like pretty good when you're playing scrappy pods with good players. Like if you're doing a PT pod with eight good PT players, a card like Voidforge Titan or Bruntar can win the game by itself. That's what I call an engine card. Whereas a lot of the commons that tend to have high data, they can't really win the game by themselves. Like Swords to Plowshares, like obviously it's an amazing card, and I'm not saying these cards are better than Swords, but it's what I would call a support card. Like it's not a card that's there to win by itself. It's there to like grease whatever else you're doing. So I think that like the problem with the thing about engine cards is you don't need engine cards on Arena because you're just gonna have an insane deck every time. But like in actual scrappy drafts, you kind of tend to need to have some sort of an engine card in this day and age. Like you kind of need cards that can win by themselves. It's hard to just win by casting like Swords to Plowshares every turn or whatever. So like cards like Grunt.
Makes so much sense. Yeah.
Yeah, and like
the point you made about like you're always gonna have better decks in Arena, like I hadn't considered that at all.
yeah, the way I'd say it is like the average deck on Arena should be between like a 7 to 9 out of 10, whereas a PT deck should be like assuming all the players are like quite good, like somewhere between a 5 and a 7. But that's actually a really big difference. Like one hilarious thing that happens is that like yeah, like it is quite different. I mean, I don't know if you've drafted a lot, but it is quite different to draft Arena and like an actual single pod. Because like a lot of the cards that like are unplayable on Arena will be like, oh, that's kind of good in this game because like our decks are way worse. So like they're grindier. Like the Mana Sink cards get way better in the scrappier pods. But that's the same thing with the engine. Like Bruntar and Voidforge Titan, their data wasn't that good, but I could read the card and I have like half a brain. So I'm like, well, if I untap with this card, I'm probably going to win the game. Like I look at Voidforge Titan, I'm like, if I play this, I'm probably going to untap if I win. Same with the Bruntar. So I'm like, that's already pretty good. And it kind of they reminded me of like Baneslayer Angels, and I was like, yeah, they're kind of good in scrappy games, whatever. And the thing about Arena is like the better the decks are, the more punished you are for playing Baneslayer. Like imagine if like because the thing about Arena, since all the decks are insane, if you try and play like a slower like a Baneslayer Angel and they remove it, you lose the game. But if you're playing a scrappier pod, your Baneslayer gets way better. So I was kind of disagreeing with 17 lands in that way. I'm like, I believe the engine cards are like structurally, gonna have weaker, and it played out well for me. Like I think I drafted Voidforge Titan. Like I had like a million Voidforge Titans at the PT, and my record was good. Like I went 6-0 at the last PT, so that was nice. But and the Voidforge Titans were good. So I mean, I'm not saying they were insane or whatever. Like I get like that's why you also that's one thing I guess people can get into trouble too on teams. Not to go too long, but like sometimes you'll say a card is good that people think is bad, and then they'll be like. They'll assume you mean it's insane, so you kind of have to be careful. It's like, no, I just think it's like, like 6 out of 10 or whatever, which is better than people who take it at 2 out of 10 or whatever. I mean, that's a counterintuitive
Yeah.
thing about draft. I mean, I don't know if you've drafted that much, but like, it's actually funny
Not
because
not
like,
much in person or on like MTGO or whatever.
yeah,
Just mostly
yeah.
on Arena. Yeah.
Well, the funny thing about draft discourse is actually being good at draft. I think if you're good at draft, you're kind of or like like yeah, when you're good at draft, you're supposed to actually understand how to get value out of the bad cards, and you're basically supposed to have really good analysis of the bad cards because it's kind of obvious if it's good cards. Like I was almost laughing at one point because I was like, was so like two friends and they were debating like Lightning Strike versus Glassworks, whatever. I'm like, what do you mean? They're like obviously both good. Like you can literally go on 17 lands and they have like nearly the same data. What's actually useful is looking at the bad red cards and trying to understand when you can get value because actually most of the draft is the end of the pack. You know what I mean? Like half the draft is the end of
Yeah.
the
Right.
pack.
Right.
Most of the important
Yeah.
picks are actually a lot of the important picks are getting value from when there's four cards in the pack and getting the best value out of it. It's not that hard to know it's the pack one pick one. I mean, even Walloompa, the guy on Worldly Council, he said pack one pick one. He hates that question because it's actually the least interesting pick of the draft. You just take the best card. It's not really that deep. What's actually interesting is when there's like five bad cards in the pack and you're trying to scratch the match value out of it, and it's actually you know what I mean. So it actually pays a
Yeah.
lot
Dude,
to
that's
really
amazing. Yeah.
you really want to be dialed in on the bad cards because when you have five, six cards in a pack, that's when you scrounge the value. And if you have like a really good pod where it's hard to get playables, you really need to scrounge the back of the pack or whatever. So that there's a lot of into understanding how to get value out of weaker cards or whatever, which is funny because a lot of people might be like a lot of people might be like, if like Sam Black, they're like, oh, that guy's kind of loose. All he talks about is the bad cards. It's like, well, that's why he's so good at limited, partly because he knows how to get value out of everything, and he's always, going to his value. And obviously, Sam Black's not bad at pack one, pick one. That's not really that hard of a skill. I mean, it is hard to a degree, but yeah, that's kind of a funny
That's some next level
counterintuitive.
shit right there. Like, yeah, I mean, that's crazy. I never would have thought that way
Yeah.
about draft.
Well, I realized it because it kind
Yeah.
of tilted me because like all I would be talking about was like how the worst cards weren't actually that bad, and people are like, "Why are you talking about these bad cards so much?" And that's when I realized the logic of it was like, this is what matters. These are the hard picks because it's actually that's where there's not information. What's better in what's the worst commons? What do you take out of it? That's where there's not the information. Where there is the information, it's like obviously it's good. What card's good? Nobody's getting an edge there, and yeah. So
Yeah.
especially in this day and
Yeah.
age,
I
like
love that.
the decks are so cohesive. Like you really want to get value out of everything. I mean, yeah. So it'll be interesting, but that's what I would say. Some things for draft, but yeah, I guess we can slowly wrap it up for today. I don't know if you want to add anything else or
Yeah, man. No, I mean this has been great. I mean, yeah, I really appreciate the time. How do you want me to pay you for today?
you could do like
And
maybe
where do you want me to pay you?
like PayPal can work if you have that. Probably not. Yeah, PayPal can work. I If that doesn't work, I can see if I have some sort of a Zelle, but otherwise I can do PayPal.
No, if PayPal is the easiest for you, I can do that. That's all
Yeah, it
good. Here, let me
works. Should be a US account, so no
okay.
conversions or whatever.
I'm gonna pay you now and just make sure that you received it.
Yeah.
Give me a sec. I'm just gonna log in. And then tomorrow, are you free? Same time.